Okay. Hey, Kyle. Thanks for coming. We're having a storm and it got really windy. So I had to restart my stream. Darn it anyways. Let's see if people come back in. That is crazy. It's like earlier it was windy, but it was a beautiful day here today. And then all of a sudden it went windy and it started pouring down rain. And next thing you know, I lost my Wi-Fi connection. You're 7 away. Cool. That is so awesome. You will get there. You will get there, Kyle. You're too sweet not to. I think I felt like I was stuck on certain numbers forever. And I'm having a heck of a time getting to 3K for some reason. I think I was stuck. It was either 300 or 500 for a while. And then I grew fast and then I slowed up again. But this 3K has been horrible. I've been trying to get there since before July. And I had a whole bunch of people and then kept losing people and gaining people and losing people. It was just, I got tired of watching it. It was making me dizzy. I felt like I was on a seesaw. If you want to, Kyle, you can come up on the panel and talk with me. It's up to you. I could send you the link if you want to. Hey, Neil. How are you? I had to restart my stream. I'm still working on part 1. I'm trying to get my ephemera cut up. So I thought I'd come on and have some company while doing so. I'm doing pretty good. Hanging in there. Hey, April. But like I said, if anybody ever wants to come up to chat, you just let me know. And I'll send you a link. All I'm doing is cutting ephemera today. Trying to get one of my tasks done. So that I can start on my books next Wednesday's live. Hey, Morgan. Well, happy Saturday to you too. Oh my goodness. Look at all you people coming in. This is awesome. I'm getting some new people. I know a lot of people are on different time zones and it makes it rough. I had thought, Daria, welcome back. Yes, I had to redo the stream. It wouldn't let me reconnect the other way, so I had to make a new one. So anyway, what I was talking about before my stream get interrupted is I like to dedicate my Wednesday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern when I do my normal lives, East Coast time, in the United States. I dedicated to the military, and I've been reading World War II letters. And I started last December, and they were ones that I bought in an auction from an estate sale. And it is a couple before they were married, after they got married, and their names are Elsie and William. They were from California, and they have a couple friends who were included that also sent letters. And it's an amazing set of letters. Like, it's just incredible. So I started reading them last year every Wednesday night, and that's what I'm going to do, because it's all from his side. I wish I had her letters. It'd be so cool, but I only have his, and they're just an incredible couple. I want this story to never end. And it's just really cool. Hey, baby. Oh, Neil, they're at first I kind of felt guilty, because in one of his letters I read, because I didn't pre-read this. So when I read them, you hear them. And some of the words I have a hard struggle with because of this. It's like scribbly and it's hard to read. I try to guess what the words are, but sometimes it's hard. He wrote a letter to her. He was upset with her once because wherever she worked, she left one of his letters on the table, and somebody read it, and he said he wasn't happy. He was definitely a private man, and I almost didn't read him just out of respect for his privacy, because you do feel guilty about that. It's like somebody taking your diaries and reading them on the internet. You know what I mean? Not that I would care if I was gone, but I wanted this story to be shared. So I thought about it for a little while, and I thought, no, I'm going to go ahead and read them. I know he wanted his privacy, but they're probably no longer with us since the locker was bought up. So yeah, but I did try to look them up. I couldn't find them, because I would love to know, because I don't know what these letters are going to have. I would love to have a picture of them, or see if they had kids, but I have a whole bunch more to read, so I'm not sure if they'll be in that. The only thing that I got so far out of them, it was so funny, because the cameras back in the day, I forget what kind they were, but they were tiny little black and whites. And one was a picture of a baby, but it was just somebody she knew. And another one was a picture of the one friend whose letters were incorporated. Well, it's just because, he was upset about somebody finding his letters to her because they were personal. But it's just, these letters need to be shared. I mean, I don't want the story to ever end, and I know it's going to, and it's going to bum me out when it does. But it's just an incredible story, and the way they talk to each other was with so much respect. It's not like it is nowadays, where the F-bombs dropped all the time and people have no respect for each other like they used to. And it's really sad. I'm not saying everybody, because I'm sure there's people that's out there that's still respectful, but you know what I mean? It's like the language is different in these letters. He'll just say, like, my friend so-and-so, he was a golly old pal. Like, we don't talk that way anymore. So it's like refreshing to see that kind of conversation. I don't use the word golly. I don't know if you all do, but I haven't heard that word since watching Gomer Pyle and, the older shows. It's just funny. But it's just so respectful. And he serves in the Navy, and I love it, because my husband served in the Navy too. And my husband also draws stick people to me. He used to do it all the time when I was in college. I would go to take a test in class, and I would open my notebook and see these stick people drawings, and my husband would make me bust out laughing in class, and people would look at me like I'm crazy. But he did definitely break the tension, but he used to do it to my kids too. He would draw like these little stick people smoking these cigarettes and just goofy stuff. And this guy does it. His stick people are a little different, but it's just so funny because he reminds me of my husband with those stick people. But his stick person was, this is a letter I had already read last year. He was home for a visit from the military, and he went to see his woman, and she made this meal for him, and his comment was, if I keep eating your wonderful cooking, I'm going to look like this. And he drew a stick person with a big belly. It was just so funny. And he makes up crazy poems. Like, his poems are so cute. So yeah, I think they need shared. But I'm easily amused. You know, I get amused by the little things that people do. I remember a story I read one time in Chicken Soup for the Soul about this elderly couple, how she said that her husband used to leave her the cutest notes and drawings in her flower. She had like a flower in a sugar bowl, and she said it was nothing for her to open like one of the bigger canisters, and he would have a drawing in her sugar. I would die laughing if somebody did that to me. I think stuff like that's cute. It's very romantic. And it's very cutesy. Not like cutesy stuff. So I like that story. I love Chicken Soup for the Soul books. They have some good ones. I have one my daughter bought me. It was a mistake. It was she thought she bought Chicken Soup for the couple's soul, and it was Chicken Soup for military couples, which my husband's not in the military anymore, but I can't wait to read it. I haven't read that one yet. So I'm working on cutting ephemera. We are cussy cutting, not fussy cutting. I call it cussy cutting. And I'm preparing to make, right now, I think I might do 2 journals. I don't know. I know it's going to be at least 2. But I know Vin said he wanted maybe one for his mother. He wanted to buy one off of me. So I don't know if I will have these done by then, before Christmas. Because I'm also working on a little bit of a side journal. It's a surprise for someone too. It's a Christmas present. That's a secret. I can't show it, the video on it, till after Christmas is over because I never know who's watching my videos. Just like I have one package I'm going to be opening for my Sunny Fun Time meal. I've got a few of them I can't open till after Christmas because I have a grandson that likes to sneak and watch my videos. And some of that stuff is present, so I have to be careful what I post. Right now I'm working on 4 Happy Mails, a journal on the side, plus whatever I do on here. So I'm always busy. Busy, busy, busy. And I'm hoping to have these done before Scully goes live. And if you don't know who Scully is, I'm going to put his link in here. He's going to have some kind of theater reading tonight about Jaws. So I'm going to share him. I'm going to share him in here. And don't forget to put thumbs up, people. This is Scully. for later if you want to go visit his channel. Welcome back, Gemma. I was talking about you. I don't know if you missed it or not. I said you got to check out Gemma's channel because she gets all excited about her Elvis collection and it's so cutesy. And she teaches about autism and things that people need to be aware of. I try to remember what channels are about when I visit them. That's great, Gemma. That really is. I need to remember sometimes when I'm in. Sometimes I remember, and sometimes I don't know why I get sidetracked. But I need to remember to try to share some of your informal videos like that, your information on my Facebook and my community tab, because I know there's a lot of families like around me too that have some kids with autism that probably could be educated too. So I try to share that stuff out. I don't get to see him, but my husband has a cousin that's autistic. But I don't, we never get to see him because his cousin's no longer, he was the dad. He's no longer with the mom anymore. So you know how that goes, which is kind of sad because I wish we did. Hey, Penguin. There's one of my whatnot people. There's Lillian. I forgot to ask you, Ping, do you care if I call you Lily? I'm terrible about that. Because I'm from the West Virginia and I want everybody's last name to end with a Y. I catch myself doing that all the time. We had a couple people from Florida that was cousins. They were a friend of mine's cousins, and they come down here and we kept calling them names with IEs or Ys. And somebody said, why do you West Virginia people always try to make, because it's Tammy or it's Lily or it's like Jemmy. I want to call her Jemmy instead of Gemma. I don't know. It's just a habit. And we used to do that to them all the time. And I said, it's just a West Virginia thing. I don't know why, but it's funny. How are you guys doing today? Doing good? We're getting rain here right now. I got knocked offline earlier. I'm getting ready to create a couple Christmas journals. 2 different ways of creating them. So I started this part 1, 2, and whatever because I have a couple people that want to learn how to do them. So Wednesday night and tonight, because I don't edit, I'm going to show you every step of the way of what I do. So I'm stuck with cutting ephemera because apparently I like Christmas. And I got stuck with a bunch of digitals that I bought off of Etsy. And all I can say is when you go to Etsy and you type in like homemade junk journals or junk journals, sit and look at them. They have ephemera and all kinds of stuff. And just for a heads up, the reason why I love Tracy says she's doing it. Oh, yep, she does. That's so cute. Anything from the 1800s and the early 1900s, I'm talking postcards, anything like that can be turned into digitals. There's a lot of sellers that sell the originals, but I keep the originals if I go to turn them into digitals, because then I can claim that they're mine when I put them in my Etsy store. Now, by rights, if it's from the 1800s, early 1900s, and a person makes a digital, they have just a respect for people who buy them at auctions. They tell people not to share them with other people. Like if you want to buy digitals, you can run them off as many times as you want, but they don't like it when you give it to other people because they paid for them from auctions and they're making their money back. What they're doing. Really, technically, there's no copyright on that, but we do it just out of respect for the crafters. Now, digitals like Miriam Small Art does, she actually paints, draws, and does her own artwork in digitals. Now, those could be copyrighted. But we had a woman do that, and somebody from China downloaded her digitals and started selling them. And hers came out as like what they call copies. And she can't do anything because who's got the money to go to China and sue somebody? I mean, you have to have a lot of money to do that. And it's really sad because now she's afraid to post her art on Etsy because somebody did that. Because, there's knockoffs in purses, there's knockoffs and stuff. But that's the kind of stuff I look for. I have tons of books from the 1800s. I have a lot of stuff that I've accumulated through auctions and sales. And that's what I want to start incorporating into my Etsy at some point. Because if you look at some of these pictures, like some of the pictures that people put into digitals, you can tell this is from vintage items. But the one thing that I like about digitals versus regular paper lines is you can run them as many times as you want. Where when you buy a paper line, you can't copy those because they're copyrighted. So you got to buy another set of papers. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like having digitals, and they're cheaper. I think I paid like $3.91 for a set. So digitals are nice. Oh, well, thank you, Jemmy. I love it. Thank you, Daria. I like Jemmy. That's so cute. That is so cute. I like it. I don't know. With me, it's a toss-up because I like cooking too. So I'm a cross between cooking and crafting. Like, I don't know how to explain it. When I cook, I know that I could do it at my own pace and there's no deadline. When I craft, I find it a little more pressureful because, look, I'm making Christmases. It's got to be either done by this Christmas or next Christmas. You know what I mean? Like some crafters have a cutoff, and I find that stressful. I could never do a job where I have like a cutoff time. I would be like, oh my God, I can't do it because I find that stressful. But I love to cook. I mean, I can go in my kitchen and whip up things that sometimes, my husband doesn't like being my guinea pig, but then he'll eat it and be like, oh my gosh, this is so good. But I'm like a pinch of this, a dash of that sometimes. Sometimes I measure. It just depends on what I'm making. And sometimes I create my own recipes. You just never know what I'm going to come up with when I'm in the kitchen. So I find I do love to cook, but I really don't want to do cooking videos. But I do enjoy it. And with the stress of the economy right now, like my daughter, she's got 4 kids and she's doing meal preps for a certain amount of money for a family of 4. She's got 3 girls, a son, her and her husband. So the family is 6. And she's trying to do like meal preps for like a family of 6 for $20 or less. So she went into Pinterest to try to find some recipes. Penguin. But there are certain dinners that when the economy got high, hey, I was a single mom when I started out. And I didn't have cable. I didn't have a phone. I had to use my neighbor's phone to call anybody. I had no cell phone because we didn't have that at that point in time. So it was a struggle at times. And one of the meals that I used to make was that my kids used to love for lunch is I watched another YouTuber, CDC. He had a toaster oven and he was making pizza on toast. I said, we used to do that on English muffins. Oh, here comes the bots. Daria, you get them. Gotta love them freaking bots, let me tell you. I have so many of them in my Google block, it's not even funny. But if you take and you buy like pizza sauce and you buy some shredded cheese and some pepperoni, you can make them on English muffins and cook them in the oven, and they are really good. Little round pizzas. I'm gonna make you really hungry, Penguin. You know, sometimes I wonder if somebody's running these bots or if somebody's allowing them in for money, like they're paying Google to run them. I question that sometimes. I don't know why I have that feeling, but it does make me wonder. Yep, they are, Daria. And you know, in Yahoo back in my chat days, you guys would have even died laughing if you would have seen the bots back then. These just come in and spam. The bots that we had back in Yahoo chat, they talk to each other. It was the funniest thing ever. And there was a guy one time who had a, oh my goodness, what's that called? It's not autism, it's something else. Oh my goodness, what the heck was it called? I know what this is because I have this friend that has a son with it. And it's just I can't think of the word. But anyways, he never used sound when he came to the chat room, and so he couldn't hear people talking. All he saw was text. And one day, two bots come in the room and they were talking to each other, and this guy was bashing them. Like every time we would type something, he would say something rude to us. And he kept saying that all females on Yahoo were nothing but hoes. I'm like, excuse me? No, we are not. And I said, do you have your sound on? Because he kept bashing a friend of mine and I. So he said, no. And I said, well, if you have sound, would you please turn it on? Because I want to talk to you. And here the whole time he was looking at the porn bot spam, he thought they were real people. Because what the bots would do would say this is like one of the scripts. One girl would pop in one name and say, "Hi, I'm Erica. What college do you go to?" And then this other bot would come in and answer and say, well, if you want to see us with our shirts off, blah 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 blah. And it was a link you clicked on and you had to use your credit card because it was porn. So yes, Asperger's, that's exactly what it was, Charisse. And he thought that all the females in Yahoo were like them because he thought they were real people. I said, no, dude, those are bots. If you sit in chat long enough and you keep reading the script, you will see they come in with the same lines all the time. When people are chatting, they change their words. They don't come in and spam the same thing. But at first, it was hard for some of the chatters to determine, is that a bot or is that a real person? Because they would come up with new lines when they had new names. Is it autism, really? I didn't know that. I thought Asperger's was something else, Jimmy. Interesting. Learn something new all the time. Why don't they call it autism, though? Why do they call it Asperger's? Is it another form? But these bots here are obvious that come into the streams that we're on because they don't talk to each other. So you can imagine how funny it was when you saw a newbie come into chat that had no clue there was bots in there and they would start talking to. We would laugh. Interesting. Very interesting. But we had to straighten him out and we had to let him know, no, we're real people, dude. We're not bots. And so we talked to him and explained it. And then after that, he was fine. But one of my friends, Jemmy, that has an autistic son, this is one thing that I found sad in the United States system. I don't know if I told you about this. Her son's very intelligent. He's a smart kid. But what he does in his autism, it's so funny. I think it's cute, but that's just me. Every year she has a problem. She's a school teacher for special needs kids, his mom. And he will not do his homework. He's a smart kid, but he doesn't want to do the work. So as soon as he comes in, she'll say, you have homework to do. No, did it. She knows he's lying because he does it all the time. So she has to have the teachers understanding, I have to sign off every year of his homework because if I don't, he won't do it. Hold on. Something must have happened. Yep, something happened. There must have been a wreck or something. Is that what it's called? Demand avoidance? So see, this is interesting. So every year she has to fight with the teachers because the older your child gets, the teachers here sometimes make me angry because they feel like they're old enough to know better. They need to do their homework. They don't understand. And she fights with every year when he switches teachers. She's like, no, I have to sign off because if I don't, I will never see his papers. And I'm his mother. And it just makes you angry. It's like, how hard is it for a teacher just to do that? It's only a couple seconds out of your time to just copy a list and send it home. I mean, what's the big deal? This is what I mean by quality teachers too. So, interesting. That's very interesting. So she gets really frustrated with his teachers, even though she is a teacher herself. She gets frustrated with them because they won't do this one thing. And I told her, I said, well, here, you don't even have to be autistic. You don't even have to have a problem, or a diagnosis of anything. And teachers can be terrible because we had a school system here that once your kid turns 17 or 16, something like that, I forget what age it is, they don't call the parents when you miss school. They stop. Like, when you miss school to a certain point, you get an automated phone call that your kid didn't show up. I mean, hello, skipping school. And I had a problem. I called the Board of Education one time because one of my daughters did it. She was naughty and skipped school, and I didn't even know it. How I found out was when her report card came in, and I'm like, what? How did she miss this day? Where was, because I kept track of that stuff as a mom. My kids usually had perfect attendance. So I called the school. I said, I want to know why I didn't get the automated phone call when my daughter missed school. And they're like, oh no, Mrs. So-and-so, once they turn a certain age, they don't do it because they're old enough to know better. I said, have you not heard, hello, of teenage promiscuity? Have you not heard of 16, 17-year-olds being naughty because they're hormonal? That's like the worst age to cut that auto phone call off. So I don't know if they ever changed it, but boy, was I after them for that one. Those kids should have a phone call home till the day they graduate. I don't care how old they are. But it just kills me, the things that they let people get away with, because they just don't want to take the time. They don't want to be bothered. It's like, I have a problem with that. Yep, I believe it, Gemma. I do believe it. So I was so mad at my daughter for that. I said, I trusted you because my oldest never put me through. It was my youngest. She was naughtier. And I told her, I said, I skipped school, I think, like one time in my entire life, and my mom knew. And it was because I stayed with my cousin, and it was on a Friday because we planned on going out early for the carnival. But it was like at the end of the year. There was like no test or nothing big going on. But it's like, If your tax dollars are going into the school system, and it's not even about the pay, because I don't want to throw money around, but if you are trusting this service, especially if you are a working mom, or something happens, you trust the school to have your children. So I think till the day they graduate, that phone call should stay. There should not be an age limit. And I don't know if they ever changed it, but they should. Because that's usually when bad things happen, and not even, about teenage sex, but also, like, how would you even know if your kid got kidnapped? What if your kid walked to school that day at that age? I mean, look at the sex trafficking we have. Hello. I would want to know if my kid made it to school or not, because how many hours would you have missed if your kid got kidnapped? I don't know. I just have a real problem with it. I said, my kid could have, and I told him, I said, my kid could have got kidnapped that day, and I would have never known. So yeah, I was not happy. Yay! Kyle, he's so close to 300 subs. Let me check you out. Oh my goodness, he is so close. Kyle he's Yankee fans. He does all kinds of really cool videos. So if you are not following him, please follow his channel. Maybe we could get him to his 300 subs. Let me put your link in. So if anybody comes and watches my video later, go subscribe to Kyle so we can get him to 300. Gemma, did you ever think maybe you could? Why couldn't you? Is there a way in your country that you could find a job where you could go and you could teach stuff like that and talk to people? They do have, what are they called? Like informational spokesperson. That would be an awesome job. And there is a big rotating system. Kyle, let me give you a piece of information. Don't put your link in, retract it. When you put your own link in, you lose subscribers. We tested it. There was a few of us that tested it one night, And we kept losing subscribers because we were putting our own links in. I don't know why, but we did. And it was like, what the heck? So when I stopped posting my link, I started getting more subscribers sticking. I don't know if YouTube doesn't want you to share with the YouTube and they want you to share on other platforms because they do have the share button. Doesn't make any sense, but it did. It happened to us. You know, that's a really good idea, Charisse, because I can't tell you how many people, Gemma, that end out homeless on the streets, that have, you know, bipolar. It doesn't matter what it is. They end up not understanding. I told a story on here once that was so sad about what this mother and child went through. It was terrible what they did to her daughter. But it should be discussed because sometimes people process things differently and people might take it. I mean, I even see this stuff when I watch law enforcement, Law and Order SVU. They've covered some of this where people would do crimes and things and they had like no control over things that they did because they were off medicines and things like that. And it was just terrible. And I'm not using it as an excuse. There are some people that use it as an excuse, but there's people that don't too. Like I know somebody right now who, you know, when they go off their medicines, they're not who they're supposed to be. And they do the craziest things. And they get arrested. And then the jail can't hold them because they know they have a mental disorder. So they end up going into a place where they get straightened out. Soon as they get straightened out, they're sent back home. And then their doctor switches their medicines and screws them all up again. And it's like a revolving door. But this one story this lady shared, it was on her YouTube channel, was really sad. She was trying to teach her daughter. Now, I don't know what her disorder was, but she was trying to teach her daughter a little bit more how to be self-sufficient. And the mother actually has the rights over her to, sign for things and stuff like that because she's not capable. But she has been trying to teach her how to shop and stuff. So her daughter wanted a little independence and something happened and her cell phone broke. I don't know if it was the screen, it was something on her cell phone. So her daughter's like, let me do it, Mom. Let me do it, Mom. She's like, okay. She says, I'll sit here in the parking lot and you go in and do your thing because she is trying to teach her to be self-sufficient because she's like, what if I'm not here someday? She's going to need to know stuff. So she goes into this place that she bought her cell phone from. And you know how those people can be. And I understand that it is part of their job that they have to suggestive sell stuff. But a person with a disorder sometimes cannot process this. So all she was wanting to do was get her screen fixed. So what it ended up happening is she come out and she showed her mother the receipt and there was hundreds more dollars on this receipt for stuff she didn't need. So her mom just told her, she wasn't mad, because she's trying to teach her. She says, listen, they just took you for more money that we don't have. And she says, so I'm going to have to go back in and help you fix it. And I want you to see what's going on. So she took her daughter in to teach her. She says, listen, you cannot sell my daughter all these products when all she did was come in to do this. You have to understand that she has a disability. And you can't just suggestive sell and think you can just charge what you want. Well, the guy behind the counter got rude with her. So she called for another person that was higher up. So they brought the manager or whatever was up. The person's, and I forget what she said. But anyways, I'm going to try to tell the story best I can. So they called the person and she says, listen, my daughter does not need all this and you need to take it back and you need to, undo it because she just came in here for a broken screen. So the manager's like, well, she's of age and she signed these papers and you can't do anything. And she says, listen. And the guy got mad and wouldn't even let the mother finish and calls the cops. So then the police show up, drama people, and she's trying to tell them something and they wouldn't let her finish. So she turns around and she tried to explain. And then when the cops pulled her out to the side to hear the side of the story, she says, listen, these people are lying, first of all. She says, because they can't charge whether she's of age or not. What they did not know inside the store is something the mother did know. And she was about to make them look pretty stupid. So she's trying to talk to the cops and she tells them everything. And the cops go in and say, listen, you have to take this stuff back. And they're like, oh, she's of age and this is our policy. This is the kicker. She couldn't sign her name. Her mother had the authority to sign with her signature, but her daughter couldn't write. So the papers the so-called people had in the store were forged. But what if it wasn't? Would that person have been responsible? I don't think it should have been, but that mother had that leverage over them to save her daughter from all those charges. Because you have HIPAA law here that you have to fight now, where like if your kid's of age, you can't get their information and blah, 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 blah. Like I had a relative who was in a car wreck and his mother didn't even know it because HIPAA didn't require them to call her because he was of age. She found out because her husband used to be a police officer and somebody called and left it on her machine. Her son was in surgery that afternoon and she didn't even know he was in the hospital. That's where I don't like those particular laws. So I tell my kids, keep a card with my information in your purse as your next of kin, at least one of your, your to notify besides your mate or whatever, so that us as the family can find out this stuff, because I don't want the HIPAA law to prevent me from knowing if my kid's in the hospital. Well, they got in trouble. This company got in trouble because of what they did. And the mother said, listen, I'm not going to sue you, but in the future, pay attention to when people are trying to talk to you and tell you something. She says, I'm trying to teach my daughter to be self-sufficient. And it's people like you that don't listen that causes problems for people. So when people with disorders are on their own and they don't have a parent to stand here and defend them, how much have you gotten away with charging people for stuff they didn't need? You know, there's so many things that happens to people. I think it's sad that they did this to this girl. All right, Daria. Thanks for coming. My dog hates fireworks. She has like distress disorder. But that's where I think that a lot of people could be educated. Gemma too. You know, it's just, I feel sorry for people that go through this that don't deserve it. I think it's terrible. And what her daughter went through, oh my God, I would have been livid. If I would have been there and that would have been my daughter, I would want to hurt somebody. I would like want to take a paddle and bust all their behinds. But I could only imagine. But I'm glad she shared that story on her YouTube channel. Like, I don't know how many people heard it, but the more information gets out, the best, better it is that people are educated on this stuff. And when I read Danielle Steele's book, that she put 100% of proceeds into the homeless, she even said, you would not believe, everybody has this stigma that people out on that are homeless are nothing but drunks and drug addicts. Not all of them are. They found a lot of people that were not on their medications, not seeing doctors, that had mental disorders, whether it was military, post-traumatic stress disorder, people that had schizophrenia. They're stuck on the streets because their caregivers are no longer here and they did not know how to take care of themselves. And it's so sad. She said, when you see these kind of people on the streets because they're afraid of you, on top of it, because, the police are always chasing them off of benches and places they want to stay. It was really touching reading that book. It was definitely an eye opener. But she said the biggest thing they would take out to the homeless was blankets, and they found out socks were the biggest thing that homeless people really need is socks. And I find it really interesting because we get a commercial on our TV here now that there's a sock company. For every pair you buy, they donate socks to the homeless. And I think that's nice, to like the homeless shelters or wherever they send it to, so people on the street can have socks. And a lot of people, I think, that turn into alcoholics and stuff once they've been on the street, and I have heard stories from homeless people who have been through this, is because they were so cold in places they stayed that they would drink like a little bit of bourbon or whatever they could get their hands on to warm themselves up. And next thing you know, they turned into alcoholics and they didn't even realize they were, because all they were trying to do was stay not chilled to the bone. So that's why I don't like it when people judge people, because until you walk in their shoes, you do not know what they go through unless they tell you. I remember when I was in Yahoo Chat, I can't tell you how many times I wish that I was more of an educated therapist, but I wasn't. I could just be there to listen, but I can't tell you how many military people I would run into that just needed people to talk to. And I had this one guy got really close to, I mean, we got so close through chat, he called me on my phone eventually and told me the terrors that he experienced with post-traumatic stress disorder. And it is very sad. I would never betray his trust because he trusted me when he opened up. And I heard a lot of horror stories. And he used to tell me all the time, he says, I wish you were a therapist. And I said, but I can't be, because I feel that when it comes to post-traumatic stress disorder, it's just my personal opinion. I'm not saying that a person can't help somebody that has never been there, but I think it should be a person who has been there, because they know more about it with the experience of going through it. Where sometimes you have these therapists that just don't have empathy. And I know, because I used to work in the mental health field, and it's just crazy. I would have people, because I used to work as a behavior specialist assistant for a company to do with mental disorders, because I have dealt with bipolar in people in my life and stuff. But there are some people that come out of college, all I can say is they think they know everything and they don't have a clue. And they look down at a clipboard at somebody instead of being like, I don't know. It's just not the same. And I remember me and two other people that I became friends with in that job. There was actually a patient that told me himself, he says, I really like you and so and so and so and so because you talk to us and not at us. And that made me feel so good. Like that, just that was the biggest compliment for somebody that I was with to say to me, because I don't know how I come off to people, because, everybody perceives you in a different way. And I loved it because that's how I felt. And there was a client I had. We can talk about our clients without giving out names and stuff like that, because it's not confidentially breaking if you don't say who they are. But like, for instance, I had this one client, I felt so bad for her son because his dad left and he took the responsibility of his mother, and he was just a kid himself. So there was times I would catch him being like kind of agitated with his mom because she, his age, and he just didn't understand. So one day, after I was done with what I had to do with her, I said, listen, I want to sit here and talk to you for a minute. And we had the best conversation. And he's like, well, you're not supposed to talk to me. I said, what do you mean I'm not supposed to talk to you? And he says, well, any of the other therapists that come in with your job description, they make me leave the room because my mother's actually the paid client under the insurance. And I said, kid, I'm doing this on my own. This has nothing to do with the pay grade. I think you need somebody to talk to you because you don't have your dad and you don't have somebody that can talk to you to sit down. I said, if you ever need anything, talk to me. After I'm done talking to your mom, we will sit down and have a talk. I can do what I want on my own time, even if it's after hours and you just want somebody to talk to. I said, because this is a big burden for a kid your age to be carrying your mother with a mental illness. I mean, this kid was still in high school. And I told him, I said, my thing to you, because he had a lot of animosity. Like he felt like he was stuck. I said, you are not stuck. You are her son. And I think it's amazing that you are stepping up at your age for your mother. Because there's not too many kids that would do that too. There's some that would, some that wouldn't. I never generalize the public population because everybody's different. We're all like snowflakes. I said, but don't ever get mad at your mother because you're doing an incredible job. I said, I'm sorry that your dad did what he did and you make it feel like it's your responsibility, but it isn't. I said, but to love your parent unconditionally, that's an amazing thing that you went out to get side jobs to help your mother. I think it's incredible because she had disability and they were struggling. And I said, but don't ever feel bad. And I don't know if kids made fun of him in school. Like, I don't know all the things he went through, but he did open up some. And he said he loved to be able to talk about it sometimes. And I said, well, you feel free. So I went to my boss and I told him because I didn't want to get in trouble with my job, but I told him it's not fair that this kid's not getting some kind of therapy on how to deal with his mother, even if they don't have the coverage. So he told me he didn't care if I talked to him in my own time. So I did. And they didn't have like a lot of decorations for Christmas and stuff like that. My boss was funny. I love my boss. And I went and threw some stuff I was getting rid of in a yard sale, and I took a whole bunch of stuff down to them so that they could decorate their house. And my boss says to me one day, he says, I heard a secret Santa gave some people some gifts. I said, shh, don't tell nobody. Because really, when you work in that type of job, you're not supposed to give gifts. You're not supposed to accept gifts or take them because it just, there's so many friggin' crazy laws over stuff like that. And I said, I would never take anything from them people, but I said, I don't see why when I'm giving it away, I'm selling it anyways. So I'm just going to give it to her. So they were yard sale stuff I was getting rid of, but he just said, shh, I'm not telling nobody. My boss was funny, but I had one, the only thing that somebody ever made for me was it was a cassette tape. One of my clients made me a cassette tape because she says, I want you to enjoy some different kind of music. And she made a cassette tape of the blues. And I still have it. I keep everything my people give me. But she didn't buy it, so it was a homemade type of deal. But I always reported to my boss because I didn't want to get in trouble. But I really loved that job. I did, but I didn't get to work very many hours. And for my drive, to get there, I had to end up leaving because it cost me more in gas than I was really making, which is really sad because I was only going down for like 4 hours out of the day. I wasn't getting a full day in. So I left the job and I cried. I did because I missed the clients and they said that people kept asking for me and some were upset, but I couldn't do anything about it because we needed money at the time and I just wasn't making it. So I left there and I started to become an airbrush painter in a full-time job. And I loved it because I was doing pretty good on that job too. It was definitely rough because I wasn't sitting in air conditioning with people. I was literally working my butt off, 110 degrees temperature. And then they called me back for a full-time job. And I was like, no, why are you calling me now that I'm into my new job and I'm making money? Now you call me to be a therapist full time, but it was too late because I was already involved in this job. So I didn't go back, but my boss always told me, if you ever want your job back, it's always here. So I was never fired in my life, knock on wood. I have had jobs move or relocate where I couldn't go with them, but I have never been fired or laid off or anything like that. Just sometimes jobs come and go and nothing you can do about that part. I've done a lot of different jobs in my life. I've worked at McDonald's as a cashier. I worked as a bartender. I worked in a photo shop. I worked as a counselor. What else have I done? Worked at Ben Franklin a long time ago. I did the animal department. I've had lots of jobs. And I enjoyed them too. It was different. An autism journal. I'll have to think about that one. Oh, Gemma's going to challenge me. Jemmy's going to challenge me. You know, I had a friend, the last one I did that was custom. She made colors that I do not have. With all my Sunny Fun Time mails, I did not have coral. I only buy my colors, which is bad by me because I shouldn't be that way. I should be open to suggestion because not everybody likes my colors. Because I think I have blue everything. And she did. She says, I want a vintage coral. And she challenged me. It was definitely a challenge, but I did it. She loved it. So it was nice to have good feedback. I need to get inventory built up. I started working on some digitals, but I need to get, that's why I started making journals on my channel because I have no inventory. I'm like out of stuff. All the journals I've made so far, I've sold unless I've kept them. And I think out of all my journals, let's see, I have 1, 2 I've written in. 1 sitting in there not finished. And then 1 in here. Because I didn't like making journals for myself at first, but then one day I did. And I couldn't bring myself to sell it, so I kept it. So now I make some for myself, but I still like buying off of other people too. I have a tote full of journals from other people that they have made. And at the end of every year, which you guys will see probably like in the month of February sometime, I do a video on all the journals I have used the previous year, and you actually get to see how I use them. There's that Scotty girl. If you do not know Michelle Scott, you are missing a lot. She is a lot of fun. Let me report. Ugh, this freaking bots. They found me. I wish they would go away. There's Scotty. She does Stock Your Stash sales, and she crafts, and she goes into her zone, and she talks like I do, and oh, it's just fun. She'll have to check out Michelle's channel. She even does some homemade things that you can find in your house. She whips up stuff right out of her house and creates gesso and all kinds of stuff. She teaches you homemade stuff. Hey, if you ever want to come up and cut stuff up and craft, Scotty, let me know. I'm doing ephemera right now. I just bought a bunch of digitals out of Etsy because I'm going to create a couple Christmas journals, and I had a request. Maria that came in here earlier requested she wants to learn how to make one. So I'm doing a series on how to do them. I'm going to make 2 styles this time. No, I decided to come on an off day because I kind of went a little cray-cray on digitals, and well, yeah, I have to cussy cut them. Fussy cut, cussy cut. I call it cussy cut. So I knew I wouldn't have it done in time because I would have another whole Wednesday of cutting, and I didn't want to. So I figured, I'll just come on today and try to finish up so that my next Wednesday can be the next part of the journals, because I can't do these in December. In December, I'll be doing the readings of Elsie and William again from the World War II letters. So my Wednesdays in December are already booked. Boy, talk about putting the pressure on. So that means I have 3 weeks of Wednesdays to do these journals and show people how to do them. Usually it takes me like 4 weeks without the ephemera, so I'm going to be pushing it. My lives are going to probably be a little longer, or I might have to come on another day because I'm going to try to get these done before December comes. But yeah. Look at these digitals. Look at these. Look what I cut so far. This is what I did Wednesday. There are a whole bunch of mix of different stores. Look at these pages. Oh, they're so stinking cute. Look at that. There's Santa and hot air balloon. These ephemera is just gorgeous. Look at that. We have a bear in a hot chocolate cup. So yeah, I went a little crazy. Look at this pile. Then this came from another one. Look at all this. I fuzzy cutted all of this. I'm gonna have lots of ephemera, but I couldn't make up my mind which ones were my favorite, so I bought what I wanted. And plus, I had, in our lovely Insta Ink, I have 250 rollover pages. And for some reason, my printer, I don't know what it is with this particular laptop, but it keeps denying my printer, and it's really irritating. So every time I run a sheet off of it, because for some reason Insta Ink can't read it because it's set up wirelessly, but it's saying it's not, but it is. I'm going to have my daughter check it out for me and see if I'm missing a step, because I ran the wizard. And every time I print something, I have to hit OK on the printer, OK on the printer, and then it'll shoot it out. But I lost 3 cardstock pages with a diagnostic page. Doesn't that tick you off? I had cardstock in it, and it kept running diagnostic pages. I'm like, what the heck? You just wasted my cardstock. I did. I unplugged it and plugged it back in, and it's something to do with the wireless part of it. It's almost like my Wi-Fi is security protected. And my HP Envy's up here, and I don't have that problem because it's wired into the main tower. This is the second printer, and it's something about the wireless connection. It keeps telling me that the wireless isn't showing up, and I don't know if it's because we're on a protected Wi-Fi that it keeps rejecting it. I have no clue, but it's being a pain in the butt. Oh my God, that's so funny. Usually if a printer breaks, when I took help desk, it says uninstall, your stuff and reinstall it. That's just if it's printer errors. But this is coming from the laptop, and I don't know, because you got to understand. It's a Toshiba laptop, and it's an HP printer. So it could be because my mom got the Toshiba laptop from AARP. She sold it to me for like $100, like, I don't know, 10 years ago. So it's got Windows 7 with Windows 10 downloaded over top of it. I mean, you got to look at the full picture. And I'm thinking it's the laptop rejecting the printer. That's just my personal techie opinion. So I have to be careful. Yes. And see, so I bought a Dell laptop, okay? So the story continues, Scotty. So I bought a Dell laptop because I do like Dells. But Windows 11 sucks, to say the least. It's got this thing in it called switch mode. So say you want to download Firefox as your browser, and say you want to put an HP printer into it, switch mode kept rejecting everything that wasn't Microsoft. I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me. So here I am, my techie brain kicks in, and I'm like, where the hell is the switch mode? I am shutting this damn thing off. So I found it, and I did. I turned it off, and it won't let me find the printer in their list of suggestions. It's whatever Dell installed in as the printers. They keep coming up as the default, and it wouldn't let me add the new printer. And I don't know anything about Windows 11, so except that it's a pain in the butt. So that laptop sits up here, and I play with it. Like, say you're live and I'm modding on a sale on Whatnot. I have one on my laptop, which is usually you, and I have the Whatnot on my phone, and I'm listening to both people at the same time. But my house is so techie. I'm in my computer room right now. I have a desktop tower, an HP Envy printer, and a great big screen sitting in front of me, and this is what it looks like. And just because you're here, Scotty, I'm going to show you Restream. Tina, I think it was Tina. Tina Old Pages maybe said it didn't say anywhere on Restream it was unlimited. Yeah, it is. It's unlimited. You can buy a subscription to it to upgrade your stuff. It's like StreamYard in that way, but there's no cutoff hours. You don't have a cutoff. Like I have personally not went live for 6 hours or more to see if, like maybe it only gives you so many hours to post. But this here is called Restream, and this is what it looks like. Okay. So here is where you invite your guest, and it will, when you load it, it's mirrored. It's a pain in the butt, but you have to go into the settings and uncheck the mirrored because everything was backwards and it was driving me loco. So I had to fix it. So you know me, I'm poking and everything. So you can have for free, let's see here. You can have up to 6 guests on your panel for free. This is the free version. You don't have to pay to get 6 people. This up here, where my cursor is, I can't get this to zoom in anymore for you to see it. This here's your edit button. This is where you type in the name and what you want to put on your stream. This also is on Facebook right now. I have it to where I'm streaming in both places. This here is your setup of what you want your screen to look like. Here's your microphone. Here's your camera. It's got more stuff than StreamYard. To me, StreamYard's kind of plain. When you open it up, you don't see very much. On here, you have a little bit more things to click on. Over here is your chat. The next one to it is called captions. When you click on that, it's got information under here of if you want professional videos and all that kind of stuff. Over here, you have a graphics place. Now, I'll show you what the graphics does. This is an overlay. My screen will change. Now, if you want different borders like your own to make your own, you can't put them in here unless you pay for the paid version. And I think it's $16 for the first level. It's got different levels of what you can pay. So that goes on your screen. Here's another picture, a border. I'm going to put these up, and I'm looking when they hit YouTube on my phone. So it's got some cute borders. And also incorporated into this is video clips. Now, these will mute you when you play them. So I'm going to play one for you. And they do a countdown, but it's not a continuous countdown. Like, you have to keep pushing it if you want to take longer. But this is one. So it's got some cool features in it that's free. Isn't that cool? When you sign up, it says up here, it says edit destinations, where it says start and end your stream. And it gives you lists. Like, there's my YouTube. Here is my Facebook and my YouTube. And it says add destinations. And you open up a list, and you have live, you have Twitch, you have Twitter. All these different lists is who you can stream on here. Now, I don't know how many you can stream without the paid version. It doesn't say, like, how many destinations you could do at once. And then it's just like anything else. When you invite your guest, you hit invite, and it gives you a link to copy and send to a person to invite them into your stream. You want to come up and try it out? I can invite you, Missy. But as far as I know, there's no there's no limit. Like I've been on live and it's not like in 20 hours I get this email like StreamYard saying your time is up. I don't get that on here. They ask you for reviews. You'll get an email and you can, review your time on it or whatever. I think it's cool. I like it. Let me send you the link. The only thing I noticed is earlier I was on somebody else's, or yesterday I was in somebody else's stream. And when I was reading the chat compared to her, she was seeing people type before me as her guest. There was like a huge lag on the guest side. But I don't know if it's because she was having problems with her internet service too. So I pasted you. Oh, there you go. There's the link. So to watch, or what do you mean? Click it and come check it out. Why is this showing up? I don't know what this is. Oh, I didn't check it. Okay. There she is. Let me see here. And there's a little circle here. You click it, and there you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I muted it. Hold on. Okay.
I hear you.
So I can watch on YouTube. You know what I'm talking about? How you toggle your windows. Hi, everyone. Sorry. You know how you toggle your windows, and sometimes, like, when I do my sales, I have my StreamYard open and I have my YouTube open as well, so I can gauge the lag. And
Yeah.
I'm actually doing it right now with this restream. I totally love this. This backstage is really cute. Oh, I like it in this house. This is fun. Check
I
it
like
out.
little toys on here.
Yeah, this is fun. Hi, Charisse. How are you? Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is fun. And you're free. Look, why? Okay, I'm in the bottom too. Oh, I can see myself on the side of the restream,
Isn't it
and then I'm
cool?
down in the bottom corner over here too. Oh, I'm in two spots. Hello. This
She's
is
gonna be
freaking
like me
cool.
with this. The little things amuse us. She's gonna
Yeah,
get in
it
restream.
does. It
And she's
totally is
gonna hit this button. Hit this button.
fun. Yeah, this is fun. Okay, play with the windows now. Like, what do we look like when you play with windows?
Okay, wait a
Like
second.
when you play with the little window things.
Thank you, Cherise. I try. I don't know
I
why.
know she is so good at this, Cherise. And I was going to write you a message the other day because Buttercup wrote me, and I was like, oh, I gotta reach out to Tammy because I saw that you were doing an own restream, and I was like, wait a minute, I need to check this out. Okay, so hold on. So I saw you do it on restream. Oh, there I am. Okay. Oh, that's very cool.
And then we have this window.
And that's clear. Like I can see myself clear.
And then this window.
Oh, I don't have my filming lights on. Sorry. There.
And then we have this window. And then this window. And this window. Where it makes
Oh
you
my goodness, there's
little
so
over
many
there in the
things.
corner.
Oh, that's very cool. Oh, look at that.
Oh, you'll have
Oh,
fun playing in it when you load it up. I'm telling you, you should have seen me. I'm clicking this and clicking
that
this.
is really, really cool. Because I pay for StreamYard, but I don't go live as much as I used to. But the only thing that got me when I went to get on for the restream was you could only stream for 6 hours, and stock your sash. Those you can go up to 11. Come on now. Have you've not gone over 6 hours yet? I find that hard to believe, Minda.
I haven't because I haven't had a sale. But see, I don't know if like where you find out how many hours you can actually do on this at once.
It says when you go like under the and all of a sudden, you know how it's weird how Facebook knows what you're thinking about. And a restream ad came up, so I clicked it and it said $16 a month, which StreamYard is 25.
Yep.
And you can do unlimited, and of course you can take your recorded hours off. I never pay for extra hours or anything like that, but I saw that this was 16 just to get your logo up. I was like, 6 hours, not bad. The only thing that would be bad is that my sales go long. And I was like, so what? I would just set up a second restream and restream. Like, okay, everybody jump over there.
I don't know.
Literally kick you off.
I think it would just have to be tested. I would have to like go 6 hours and see what they do because I don't know what
You
they
need to go
do
6 hours and let me know, please.
because I did 24 on StreamYard paying.
Yeah, and you didn't get back.
Nope.
That's why I figured you were on this.
Yep.
Yeah, because you were that way.
I
Yeah,
was
that would make me
furious.
angry too. If I spent 24 hours online and didn't have record of that, oh, I would be angry.
You should see the conversation between me and I'm telling him off in emails. I'm like, listen, dude, you could give me all 6 of my hours 4 times because I didn't use up my limit that I paid for.
Exactly.
And they said, well, we can't do that, and fought me. I'm like, I was on for 24 hours. Are you crazy?
The thing is, too, though, with StreamYard, you can get your hours back. All you do is you hit delete recording and it stays up on your YouTube and you get your hours right back. You watch the little ticker in the left hand side and you watch all your hours go back down to 0. That's what I do. Sorry,
Well, what
StreamYard.
happened is it showed 24 hours when you go to restream, and you know how you look at the history? It showed my full 24 hours there.
But you can visually watch it.
Give it to me. It only let me have 6, and even the guy said YouTube should at least let you have 12. I got 6.
What?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, YouTube should at least let you have 12.
They both screwed me.
That's crazy. What do you think of this new YouTube setup? I love the bold.
It's getting different, but the only thing I have a hard time with is I noticed on my phone on some videos I can't find the description arrow. It's like not there.
Yeah, I watch just a few people like in the morning and stuff. I'll watch on my phone like when I'm not out of bed yet, and I can't. Sometimes I have a tough time finding that arrow too. I like it though. I think it looks cool, bold and stuff. Remember the first day I went live with that, I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, what's going on here? Why does this look like this?" I remember I took a picture and I had to show everyone.
Now on the phone, all of this has changed across the top. Like the words got tinier.
Yeah.
And what's this with clipping? Like, why would you clip somebody else's video?
I don't know. You can, it's called sampling. It's in your settings. Somebody can, I can sample a piece of your video and put it on my channel.
Really?
So, yes, I can. And so I take off embedding and I take off sampling. Yes, I sure can. Why, boy, my hands look like so smooth and young.
I
Is
don't know.
there a filter on this thing?
I don't know. Maybe they do
I
have a
look
built-in
so young.
filter.
Look how smooth my hands look. Oh my goodness.
That's
Yeah,
so
I'm old.
funny.
Oh my goodness. That's so cool. That is really cool. Thank you.
You're
I was really,
welcome.
really curious about this. I'm glad you tried it out.
Wait till you open it and you start pushing buttons.
I think I'm going to try a live with it before I get rid of StreamYard because what is the point of me paying like $25 a month? That's a lot.
It is.
Not cheap. I mean, even the 16 would be, but like free is even better. If it's free, it's for me. You know my motto.
That's what I'm doing it for, is the free.
Yeah, if it's free, it's for me.
But I kept running out of hours with StreamYard. I kept getting emails saying, you're out and blah, blah, blah. It's like,
What? I have never gotten an email from StreamYard. That is so great. Did you use the free StreamYard? You pay $25.
that was when I had it free. And then when I started paying $25, I didn't have any problems until I did the 24-hour, and then they took it. And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah. And you know that day that you canceled with StreamYard, because I remember I did it once. I canceled it, and they just didn't even finish out my month, even though I paid the $25. Yeah. You talk about some lady saying some naughty words on the phone to those people. Oh yeah, it was bad. Yeah, it was not a good.
Yeah, the sad part, what happened with me was my husband told me the very next day after I canceled it and closed everything, they charged
Yeah, it's
me
the
the next
28th of every month.
$25. And I was like, well, that's it. And I told him, you better keep track of our bank account and make sure that it's done.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they won't give you that back because I asked for it back, and they were like, "Nope." And I mean, I was doing the whole "I'm a single mama with a child." Oh, they did not care, and I was like, "Wow, you guys just are." Yeah, I call them every name in the book, and then here I am signed back up for it, and I'm thinking, "Wow,
Yeah.
wow."
Well, what they did to me was they said the $25 version only gives you 6 hours. You can't have as many hours as you think on the 25 version. I said, listen, first off, YouTube is free when you reach a certain point. Second off, I pay you $25 out of courtesy when I really don't even have to use your system. And you're telling me that it's my fault because my plan only says $6. What's the point in having an edit button if you can't give it to me in 6 hour increments for me to get the 24? So this went back and forth. I have the emails and everything. I still kept them, and they come back at me later after I canceled and I was done with them, apologizing, Michelle, saying the Google Cloud was down that carried the rest of my hours. So, okay, it's not their fault. Then why did I get an apology?
Right, but girl, you're never gonna get an apology. What's up, Buttercup?
Like, oh my God.
Buttercup,
Yes,
did you get my
Sandy.
email back? Sandy's like, since you won't return my text messages, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got a new phone number. Totally, totally. And sometimes, and I just went with what they gave me, like as contacts that switched over. Apparently, Sandy wasn't in, and like my Google, I didn't save. I don't, whatever. I'm not techie, Sandy. But hi, Buttercup. Yes, love you, miss you.
I'm
Dad,
trying to
I'm
get her up
moving.
here, Michelle. Help me.
You tried what?
She's like, I haven't moved yet for my craft room. I said, I don't care. Go buy stuff at the Dollar Tree or whatever and come up here and craft with me. And she keeps saying, wait till I move. I don't want to wait till she moves. I want Sassy Sandy on the panel.
That's Sandy, get up in here. She said, I was not feeling the love, Buttercup. I know, Sandy. I know. And the thing, wow. Yeah. Well, you have my number now because I gave it to you. That was so funny. You guys were dinging me the other day when you were like, look up at your chat.
That was
I
funny.
looked down and Tammy's like texting me, look at your chat.
They were
Oh,
all, she's in her zone. There's
oh,
Scotty in
girl,
her zone.
I got 5 books going. I got 5. I'm working on the white one right now. I just did some toppers on the white one. I was just listening to you talk, and then I noticed that you had the little restream up there, and I was like, let me check this out. I'm in the back. I don't have my YouTube window. Well, I have it open, but it's behind the restream because I'm checking it out. I've loved those countdowns.
Weren't they fun?
Yeah.
That
And I
one
do see,
countdown on StreamYard is so loud.
like, do I have to wait? Is that, hold on. Yeah.
The
Do I
one
need to
count,
take that mirror thing off and that thing in the corner? Sorry, everybody. I'm probably doing weird things with my hands right
that's
now.
okay. Go ahead.
I'm playing. Yeah. Do I have to take mirror off?
Yes.
I think I'm backwards and it's
Yes.
really weird.
You got to, you
Okay.
got it. There was a check
I'm
mark
shaking
for
my
it.
arm.
Listen,
Oh, there it goes. Yep, mirror camera. Much better.
did you
Okay.
find
Now
it?
yep.
Good. It's in because
It's
it was
off.
in the settings because that's the first thing I
Okay.
changed too. I was like, oh my gosh, everything's backwards.
Okay, now I'm normal. Well, this doesn't look normal me doing that, but yeah. Now I'm normal.
What are you doing?
Yep.
Playing with Restream?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm playing in backstage here. This is really cool. Oh, you even got private. See you. It's everything that StreamYard tag because there's a private chat. I can private chat you.
Yep.
Hello.
I knew you would love it if you tried it. I love it.
There. See, I just private chat you. Hello.
Yep.
That. Yeah, I like this, Tammy. And then when I just go, I just hit leave.
Yep.
Oh, your chat comes at the top. She just said, no, you're not normal. That's why I love you. And it flung over at the top. It doesn't come up from the bottom. It goes top down. That's cool. And you probably also like it too because it's blue back here. Wonder if I can change mine to pink.
Let's see what this is. It says new. Oh, extra camera. I still haven't figured out how to put me in the corner yet. It says add an additional camera to the stream.
Let me see.
So you should be able to see yourself in the corner, and I can't figure out how to do that part yet.
This plus thing says add source, press A. What's that? What if I press that button? Are you going to see my face?
I don't know.
All right, well, I'm pressing it. Oh, extra camera, presentations, or local video. Add an additional camera to your stream.
Yeah.
Oh.
Push a button, Scotty. Push them.
Okay, I'm gonna push the extra camera and see if my you guys just don't look at my face. Oh, there it is. You can't see it though, can you?
Mm-mm.
Watch, I'm about to add my camera. Okay, my hair is looking all right, I guess.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I'm on my webcam. My hand is, and I watch. I have my face. Oh, look at me backstage.
Oh my God, how cool. You want me to put you on?
Look at me backstage.
There she is.
Hey. Oh, and there's my hands. Ooh, ooh.
How did you do that?
I hit the plus button where it says new.
Please connect more video input devices.
We're playing with Restream.
It won't let me.
Well, what camera do you have on right now?
A Logitech.
So add your camera. Like this is my computer. This is where my camera is right up there where all that duct tape is.
But it's telling me that there isn't any.
You should show right up. It shows right up.
Nope.
Well, hello.
I want to do that, and I can't figure
I
out
know,
how
how fun
to do
is
it.
this? Oh, I like this.
Mine says extra camera, and I click on it, and it says, please connect more video input devices. So I must not have enough.
How is your laptop? Oh, did you hit allow on your? Because when I came in, I had to hit allow microphone and camera.
No, I always use the same one. It's the camera that's connected to my tower.
No, I mean for your laptop, for that one.
I don't have a laptop in here.
Well, what are you looking at?
Huh?
Like, what did you just put down in front and show me restream on that?
My computer.
Oh, like your whole monitor you moved over?
No, my camera's hanging, and all I have to do is move it up. It's hanging on an arm.
Oh, you don't have a camera on that computer in front of you?
No.
Oh, that's probably why.
What do you
Mine
mean a
has
camera
it
on the
in there.
computer in front of me? You have two hooked up?
No, I have an HP computer,
Okay.
and then it has a camera on the computer, the laptop, and then this is my webcam.
Okay, so I have a webcam, but I must not have a built-in computer. I mean, I must not have one in the desktop then.
Not if it has a monitor, you probably don't.
It has a monitor, that's why.
That's probably why. Yeah, if you try. Ooh, you got like an iPad or something? Oh, do your phone. Do your phone.
Oh, I would be able to do this in my bookstore.
Do your phone. Try your phone. Oh, let's see if I can try my phone.
I don't know. We're playing over here.
Oh, we're playing.
James, thank you.
Unfortunately, sorry. I have no makeup on. Nothing. Well, I never do. As you get two with me, it's either supermodel or oh geez, you can see my phone, or homeless. That's what I go for. Do you guys like my screensaver? It's buttons. That's right. It's buttons. Okay, I forgot that this camera's on. So let me see if I can get on it here through YouTube. This is fun, Tammy.
Listen to you.
Oh,
You sound like a tech junkie like me now.
This is fun. Let's see if I, because I. Oh, hold on. Let me mute.
Buddy.
Oh goodness. How do I mute?
Oh, my phone would be a pain. I'll have to play with this on my laptop downstairs.
Where is?
Oh, my phone would be a pain. I'll have to play with this on my laptop downstairs.
Okay. Well, that was cool. Okay. Gonna get off this camera right here. Yeah, for my face. I wonder how I leave this one. Remove source is what it says. Boom. Oh! And then poof, I'm gone. Oh, that's cool. That's
I love
totally
it when people
cool.
play with stuff on here. That's funny.
That's so fun. Thank you for letting me come and interrupt your show for a minute.
Oh, I don't care. I'm not having a show. I'm just cutting.
I love it.
You made me think of it when you popped in here. I'm like, ooh, I get to show her.
Yeah, and I had meant to reach out to Edgar. These 5 journal got me really busy. And plus I was worried about Jay. Oh, that came out fine, by the way.
Oh, thank goodness.
It was, well, what we're going to do is we're going to reevaluate in 3 months. And make sure that it is before, because she was like, literally, she said it would be drilling into his head. And I was like, oh my
word.
God. Yeah, I know. And so she said, why don't we just do an ultrasound again in 3 months? And if it is still the same size, then it is going to have to come out. So let's just pray that just goes down, just go down. Because it was pea-sized, like it was like a kernel, like this tiny little thing. And then they lanced it, and once they lanced it, the next day we had the ultrasound. That thing was like this big, a lump on his head, and there's no hair there whatsoever. So he's not gotten a haircut because he doesn't want to have that bald spot thingy there. And I'm like, well, dude, it's not like your fault. Like, and he's like, I'm not walking around with a big bald spot. And I'm like, okay, well,
Poor kid.
again, I know. So yeah, she said, I know why they sent you here because they said, leukemia and lymphoma and all that stuff. And she was like, I can tell you that I don't believe that this is what he has. And she's like, let's just reevaluate. In 3 months, I went out to the car and I think I had a panic attack and I was just bawling because I was not sleeping. I was just really worried and
Oh, I
trying not,
can imagine. I would
trying not
be
to show him
too.
that I was, worried. But, we're moms. That's what we do.
That's right.
That is what we do.
That's our job.
That is our job.
I know I had a friend who had a baby that when it come time for the soft spot to close, it closed too fast and she had to sit at Children's Hospital and it had to be a nightmare for her while they had to open the skull back up again.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, the stock your stash sale I had with the mugs that I sold for my friend's daughter
Mm-hmm.
with cancer. Well, she had 6 masses in her body and they became dormant. She was cancer free. She got to ring the bell. The day that she rang the bell, she got an MRI to just check out one because she has one that's on her head and you can feel her bump on her head and it's her cancer. And they were all dormant. None of them are growing. Her next checkup wasn't going to be until a year later. And do you know they found another lump and she has neuroblastoma.
Oh my
All of her
gosh.
tubes are back in her, Tammy. I go up there every day and see her. She, oh my goodness. So I guess this type of cancer is can only be treated with certain drugs. She's 6 years old. She's getting adult doses of radiation and chemotherapy, and they have tried 95% of the cancer drugs, right? For the other cancer that she had that was completely hugely rare. Um, and she has this thing called an ELK mutation in her body. And like they're like, what is going on? It's not genetic. The parents have been tested, everything. It's crazy. So there's only 5% of drugs that they have left to treat this.
Oh my word.
Yeah. She leaves again. You're cutting the word December. She leaves again December 1st. So I have the whole month of November. I just saw him again today. And it got the oldest, the middle it skipped, and then the baby was born with it as well. It's the most rarest of cancers, not the neuroblastoma that's in her head now, but the one that they had before. I don't know, it's like a word that's like this big. And that's why we were selling the mugs, raising money because they quit going to work and, they need to pay their bills. And so it was a pleasure to help out. And
Mugs. Did I miss something?
yeah, I had mugs one time on my Stocker stash, and she was actually here in my room with me.
I must have missed
And
that one. Damn.
yeah, and I actually talked about it one time because when Michelle came here to visit, she got to meet the girls too, and she actually started crying on one of my Stocker stashes because I was selling again
Aw.
for it again, and she was like, "Y'all, these girls." And I was, they're just blonde-eyed little beauties. They have a Facebook page and group that you can follow her journey. It's called Addie's Tribe.
So they have 2 kids that's diagnosed with it now?
Yeah, the baby, Layla, she's in remission though because they took it out. It was on her liver when she was born. And it's like this really rare cancer. So to have 2 children with this really, really rare cancer,
Did he ever serve in the military or did they ever
no,
live?
uh-uh. No, I mean it's rough. It's rough. He has to take, all the time off of work. And I mean, they have, obviously
It
car
makes you wonder
payments.
if they lived near like a chemical plant or something was in their water.
No, she lives right behind me.
I
She
don't
lives right
know.
behind me.
That's really weird because a
Yeah,
lot of like
it's
that weird
so,
cancer shows up like that. You know what I
yeah, I
mean?
mean, her dad, her father, everyone went in for it, went in for the testing, and nobody adult has it. I actually got upset with her when they wanted to go get tested because I was like, really? You want to find out if you gave this to your child? You'll never forgive yourself. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Because these are kids, these 2 are like my children. Like, yeah, I claim a lot of kids, let me tell you. And I was like, I don't think you want to do that. And she's like, I have to know. I have to know. And she has just, I mean, I just saw her today. She looks just miserable. And anything that touches her gives her hives. And it's just cancer.
Yeah.
The baby so far is still in
And
remission.
chemo is so rough. Oh,
I mean, it is so rough. Like we have a 360. Do you know what 360 is on your phone?
yeah.
Where we keep track of her and where they're at, and it's called the Scott Family Circle, and I keep track of all my quote unquote children. Um, so I know where they are and what they're doing, and every time I see her and it's at Akron Children's Hospital, I'm just like, oh my goodness. So, texting daily. And she does put things up on the Facebook group, but and sometimes I just watch that because I know she's just so busy with her, you know.
That's so sad.
It, it is. But man, is she will fight and fight and fight for her daughter until she is cancer free. I'll tell you, she will take her all over the world. Your
That's
dad had cancer, Sandy. Yeah, it sucks. It does. It's horrible. And she's
I took
6.
care of a patient one time that had cancer, and it was a job I did in home care, and we couldn't even use the same toilet as her when she was going through radiation. I mean, you have to be really careful with that getting on your skin and stuff. But she was drained. She would be so drained. And my cousin
Mhm.
Willie, he actually had a 6-pound cancer tumor removed from his belly at
Oh
one
my
point,
goodness.
and his dad just lost his was the job shut down.
Right.
So it was a church out of Corey, was it Indiana? Was some kind of church in Indiana. They raised money to send him for the surgery to have it removed. And he told me, we saw him. He would make jokes. So he would try to like, we lost his hair. He was sitting in front of us. You see the glare off my head. And he was always goofy about it. But he said that there was times he was so sick, he was crawling to the toilet. I mean, how
Yeah.
nobody could go through something like that alone. He said, "Thank God
Yeah.
for my parents."
She's beginning to lose her hair. And she's 6 and she, goes to school and stuff, but she hasn't been back to school since they started this. And the school has really rallied around them. The firefighters here are always having, rib fest, something. We show up for everything. We all wear our Addie Strong bracelets and our Layla Love. And it's just, when I saw her, I was just like, oh, she looks miserable. She's like, yeah, she is. And from what I understand, the 6 masses that she had before, they're still there. They're just dormant. However, if you um, expose them to air, that's the reason why they won't take the other ones out. If you expose them to air, I guess it makes them angry and they'll flare up again. So she's already had one surgery on her head, and Tammy, there was staples up her. Oh, it just, ugh,
I can't even imagine.
it's just bad.
It's heart wrenching. And the
Yeah.
sad part is the kids are probably taking it better than the adults.
Oh yeah, that's they fight like, siblings, everything like that. I'm like, girls, like calm down, and then but I go over there, and right now all she's doing is just laying on me. She just lays on grandma's shell. That's all she does. She has her ports back in. They actually did it wrong and had to put her in under and surgery because her port from, you know, she had it for what, 3 years she fought that cancer and won, and now they had to put him back in. It's just, it's like, where, come on, man.
Mm.
Like, just when you ring the bell. I mean, we had a big thing. There was a party in the park down here, and I mean, I got out of my car. I ran over to him. I'm bawling. I'm just like, I just like, kissing my baby, all the baby. It was like, oh my goodness. And then not even 2 days later, she's like, I need to talk to you. And she calls me Mom Michelle. She's like, Mom Michelle is back. I was like, what? She just rang the bell. What happened? And she's like, this is a brand new one, neuroblastoma. I was like, you got to be
Oh my
kidding me.
gosh.
Yeah, this is just not fair.
It isn't. It's so sad. I question that sometimes too, is why does such good people have to go through such misery?
Yeah,
And you see these bad people like serial killers and stuff running around getting away with crap. It just makes me sick.
sometimes, yeah, it really makes me mad. It really does. And I remember when I got baptized, you told me, now the true test begins.
Yep.
And I will tell you, man, Tammy, those words that you said to me that day was just resonated. Like I read your comment and I was like, now the true test begins. And I was like, uh-huh. But I think about that probably once a day of you telling me that. And I was
Yep.
just like, oh my goodness, she was just so right with
My
that.
Sunday school
Because
teacher,
sometimes you
Gail,
want to
before
get
she
so
passed away,
angry.
said the same words to me when I got baptized. Michelle, she
Yeah.
looked at me and she says, now your true test begins. I said, please don't say that.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
I mean,
true.
'cause some days you're like, I'm like, you feel yourself like, oh, come on, and you're waver and you question, and then you're just like, you gotta keep that faith. You gotta keep that faith. And it comes
Mm-hmm.
into my head. I was like, damn, Amanda done told me already. This is when it starts, and I'm like, come on, you know,
Your faith gets tested
not just with
all the
that, just
time.
with life in general, for sure, for sure.
That's why I have always said to people, when they ask me, "Well, what kind of job you have or what's your accomplishments?" And you know what I tell them? Life.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
don't
huge.
care how many degrees you have. I don't care how smart you think you are. If you can get through all the ups and downs, single mom,
Yeah, mine right now is
struggling with
called
jobs,
50
it
years of
feeding your
life.
kids, life. It's
50
adulting that's the biggest
years.
challenge. If you could make it through that, to me, you earn a medal.
Yep, 50 years. That's my challenge, my accomplishment right there. And I'm still going. And I'll continue with everything. That is just crazy. Anyways, didn't want to be Debbie Downer there, but I want to fill you in really fast. That
Well,
way you
I'm
can
glad you shared that.
keep them all in your
So
prayers and
sad. Where
stuff.
was I
Please.
during that sale? I didn't see
I
them
don't know.
run.
They were so cute too. Uh, she made the cutest craft sayings on them. Like she has like, she sells tumblers and stuff. And mine is pink and it says vintage 1972. It's so cool. It's a
Aw.
tumbler. It's a mug tumbler. And I have one. She made me, of course, Kansas City Chiefs one. And mugs I don't get. I just get the tumblers. I like tumblers because I drink, coffee. But yeah, mine says vintage 1972, and someone got I'm always right, and I don't know. It was something about Mr. Right and Mrs. Right, and I don't know. It's funny. Yeah, they went. We had a lot of orders afterwards. They went over exceeded the amount of mugs that I had because I did tell the story. And oh, that's when Michelle cried. Yeah,
That is awesome. That is
yeah,
really awesome. They did that. It's good when they sell over stuff.
yeah. And the ladies were just so, and it was the first time I had packed mugs, and a couple of them busted along the way, and they were like, you know what, it's all good. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry.
Oh my
Hi,
gosh, I can't even
Phoebe.
imagine. And see, and I have a great aunt that reads children's stories, and she used to be a singer. She's got a star on the Wheeling. What is it?
Like the Walk of Fame.
Down in Wheeling, they have a Capitol Music Hall. She's got a star on the wall now.
Oh,
She
cool.
did an album or something. Well, she had lumps come out on her throat, and she can't sing now. So
Oh,
she decided to write children's stories. And she I don't know what hospital, I don't know if it was St. Jude. She went somewhere and she was reading stories to kids that's are sick and stuff. And I think that's so awesome.
that
She
is
was always a real
really
religious
awesome.
person, and she just wants her voice out there, and she's just so kind.
That is really, really
She doesn't
awesome.
have
I
a
mean, they
potty mouth.
try as hard as they can to keep
She really
her
did. She doesn't have a potty mouth like me. Shh.
to me.
No, my aunt. She's actually really, really nice.
Oh, your aunt? Oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, I know I got a potty mouth. You know
I know I do too. And what kills me is
I
I was in a stream one time, and there's a guy that does prayers on his stream for people. He has like a prayer stream, and somebody was saying, "You smoke cigarettes and you cuss," and I was like, "And your point?" And
right?
the person's like, "Well, if he's so religious, why is he?" And I said, who do you know that goes to church that's perfect?" And the person
Nobody
didn't say
is
anything, and
perfect.
I'm like, "Listen, we're imperfect. That's why we go to church, and we can say we're baptized and still cuss. That doesn't make us have to be perfect. We go to these things to learn to be better. That's the
Yep.
whole thing about church. It's not that oh, once you get baptized, you all this what you're perfect.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not how that works.
Mm-mm.
No, I'll tell you that from experience. That's not how that works. Because when we got
Exactly.
baptized, I didn't come out that way perfect. I came out me. I think that I have a different perspective on life now, and it makes me look at things a little bit more.
Me too.
Um, but as far as perfect, oh no, there's only one perfect.
Sandy, sassy Sandy. Look what she typed down.
Yeah,
She
okay.
cracks me up, because she doesn't really cuss that often. But my goodness, when she does, I laugh every time. Oh my gosh, it's so funny to hear her cuss.
I don't think I've ever heard her cuss.
Oh my goodness, it's hysterical.
You're gonna have to leave me voice things like Minda does. I learned it. Remember, when I got my phone, I was like, Minda, guess what? I could talk to you now.
She's got that little microphone.
I have
She
the
can
microphone
grab.
now, Sandy. I upgraded. Look, it's like having a computer in my hand.
She's probably over there on her side going, "Oh my God, here goes Minda with the voice messages making my fingers work."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There would be like seven of them come through, and I'm like, oh geez, if I have to type a response back to every one of these.
See, Sandy, she couldn't take it. She couldn't take the finger workout, so she had to get a phone where she could talk
I
back.
had to get a phone to keep up with her.
I made her upgrade.
Uh-huh.
That's so funny.
Yep. She makes fun of your country voice.
Oh, she sounds cute. You wait till you hear Sandy on the microphone. Sandy goes, "I hate my voice." I said, "You sound so cute."
CDC Vintage and Mechanical.
He's got a handyman channel,
I was gonna
CDC.
say that sounds fun. It sounds like vintage cars, yeah.
He's got cute stuff on his channel. On his handyman channel, he was fixing a jukebox one day, and it was really cute.
Oh, cool. That's very cool. See, I like things like that. I don't really watch craft videos because then I have to pay attention and I can't craft. So I like things that I can
You can
just
listen to.
Yeah, just listen. Like your welcome,
CDC, stick your handyman link in here.
like your welcome Wednesdays and stuff. I'll just sit here and just let them play while I do things.
And I never know what's going to come out of my mouth.
Yeah, it's very fun. I think they're fun.
Well, thank you. Because sometimes I'll say something, and then when I go back to watch a video, I'm like, what the heck? Like right now, I have Welcome Wednesdays in my titles because I forgot to change it.
Yeah, you do. See,
This is why I don't edit.
knew I felt messed up for a reason. So I'm like, wait a minute. Did I miss 4 days? Did I miss the fall back? Did I fall back 4 days? You know that's tonight, right?
Oh, does it?
Oh, yeah. It's either tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, it's like the last day of the getting dark before 5.
Oh my gosh, that's
It's
horrible.
nice to meet you
Is
too.
it really already? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it is. It's
That's gonna mess my hubby's schedule up.
yeah, it's tomorrow. It says on my calendar. Yeah, daylight savings time. Why do we do that? Why do we have to do that?
I don't know. It says
don't like
daylight
doing that.
savings times began 2 a.m. on Sunday, March 13th, and it ends at 2 a.m. on Sunday, November 6th.
So yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the fall back because then it's dark at 5 o'clock and I'm like, okay, well, I'm ready for bed. And then I'm up at 4 in the morning.
I gotta change that. I'll change it later on these lives. I have to change it to Saturday.
Is that K-Tots TV?
K-Tots?
Cha-Tots? Say that word.
I call them K-Tots.
Oh, K-Tots. Sounds good. Sounds better than what I was saying. I was like, hello.
Michelle speaks Chinese, by the way.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
That's funny.
Well, I would vote for that, and I would say I don't want to change it. Arizona doesn't. Why do we? Tim Holtz lives in the same time zone all the time.
Here it is. I'll put it in. He goes by Handyman Network.
Okay.
I'll put his link in. CDC, you're getting lazy. Quit making me do your stuff for you. I can pick on him because he picks on me.
Well, you just got done telling us if we put our links in, we'd lose subscribers.
Oh, I forgot.
I lost like 300.
Well, it's his other channel, though. It's not his channel he's in. I don't know if that makes a difference or not.
I was like, oh my goodness. I got on it and I'm like, okay, all right. Maybe they don't like the shabby stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, we did do that. Me and Paul and Terry, I forget who I was involved because Paul had people do it too. We all tested. And we lost subscribers the next day after posting our own links. I'm like, what the heck? So we did it again. And it happened again. I lost 10. I was like, what the hell?
All right, I just subscribed. You now have 413 Handyman Network. Oh, this looks fun.
And then here, we'll put Michelle's channel in here. I'll put her channel so you can find her. Yeah, I got a new channel. I need to get out there. I just haven't done it yet. I have a second.
Yeah, I know. Did you do that Facebook thing yet, too?
Not yet.
Okay.
When did you get monetized again?
Huh?
When did you get monetized again?
I did not.
Your
I
dollar sign back under your live streams.
maybe that's for some live chat thingies, but no, I am not.
Dude, now if you refuse, like say a person's about to be monetized and you refuse it, does that mean you can never be monetized if you refuse it once?
No. No. I monetized, and then when I demonetized my channel, which was after the COPA laws, because you went from making a pretty decent amount to basically nothing. Because you have to make $100 before you even get paid by them. And it was, I don't know, 2 years, and I was like at 94, and I was like, you know what, forget this. I'm not gonna make these people sit through ads that. So I demonetized, and it says, are you sure this lasts forever? And I'm like, boom, and I hit it. Forget it.
That's crazy.
He said, thank you for the plug, Tammy.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
But
so I
yeah.
don't think if you refuse it the first time, no. I think once that you do take it and you decide to get it, like, not do it, yeah, I can't get it back. I could get, like, if I guess that super chat thing, if I don't know, it adds up to $100, but they take so much of super chat, it's ridiculous. Like, if you get a super chat for like $20, you get like maybe 7 of it. That's how ridiculous it is.
So what do you have to do to qualify for the join button?
I don't even know.
Like how they have the join in your community, because that could have been a way you could have made some money too, Missy.
Oh, with like Patreon videos and stuff like that?
No, they just had like a join that you can join. I mean, you can do some stuff for your members.
This is like my thing. So taking the monetization off and everything like that, and I would have certain videos that I would monetize and certain videos I wouldn't. Like if I got a Happy Meal, I was like, I'm not making money off my friends. Nope, not gonna do it. So I'm not gonna monetize it. Oh, there's Harley Man. There he is. Hear him? Saturday night. He's made it to your show now.
Oh my God.
I was just like, just forget this. I'm just not even just gonna do it anymore. I'm not. You know, I'm just not. And then there was people like Nick the Booksmith.
Mm-hmm.
She never monetized.
Right.
And they started putting
ads. I remember when she did a video about that. She was not happy.
Boy, was she not happy with that.
Mm-hmm. She says, because what if I brought my people here? Yep. And what if it's an ad that I don't approve of? So who gives you the right to put it on my channel? Because I might not even approve of that ad.
Yeah, you don't get to pick them. Well, you do get to pick them if they are skippable. You can put overlays. You can put watchful ads. You do get to pick the type. You just don't get to pick your subject matter.
So like, there you go. If you have any questions about being monetized, CDC, she's the one to ask because she's been there.
Yeah, I've been monetized. And I demonetized. And I can no longer be monetized. Because once you click the button, it says, this is forever. Are you sure? Yes, I am very sure. Thank you, YouTube. Yeah, because before those COPA laws, it was just hopping. I mean, that's how I replenished like $100 check. That's 10 bottles of Fabri-Tac right there. You know? So I was like, heck yeah. So it was bumping for the first 3 years I was on. And now, nope. Forget it. I'm not making everybody sit through that for not getting a check in 2 years. Forget it.
And see, and to me, when I've watched people grow, this is just my personal opinion. And, you know, people come at me saying, well, you act like it's a bad thing to be honest. I said, no, if that's what you want to do with your channel, it's your business. But my philosophy is I've listened to different people who has been monetized and listened to what they had to say. And to me, I have seen people, because YouTube keeps changing. You know, YouTube's not consistent. It's not like,
no.
you go into a job for an hourly wage or a salary and you know what you're going to make. You don't know what you're going to get.
No.
So
No,
on top of that, this is why I don't care for monetization, because I see people who have bigger channels, okay? So the next thing you know, you go to their live stream and if a person's got like 50,000 people and you're only seeing 10 people in their stream, what the hell? So then I
Does
start
that not
seeing
make
them
any sense? I
targeting.
know.
Yeah, I see them start targeting the newer channels, and if you've noticed, there's a lot of networking channels that will only promote the younger channels. And people, why do you think that is? Because
Yeah.
they're new. They will be dedicated to the first people that added them, and it's going to boost those bigger channels. That's why they're preying on. I think it's preying on the lower channels for
Because they're gonna
networking
work
because
harder.
yeah,
See,
because they
this is I'm in my 6th year.
I
On
see it,
December
people.
24th will be starting my 7th year. And I'm up to, I think I'm almost up to 7,000. I don't know, something like that. Um, and my growth for YouTube came in my first year and a half. I hit 5,000 my first year and a half, and it's just been slowly trickling in for the last, I don't know, what, 5 6 years, 5 years, 6 years, 6 years, 5 years, 5 years or so. So yeah, and I was able to monetize quite early on. I hit my hours and my watch time, everything, the subs. I hit that quite easy. But I was also working from we would go on for like 13 hours, 14 hours crafting the entire day. Like we like put the work in to really get a lot of people, and my channel grew really really fast, and now that it's, I'm not consistent anymore. I'm not any of the things. I just go on when I feel like it, and it's nothing against, like my subs or anything like that. It's just that, hey, life happens and I'm getting older, and you know I don't. At first, it was a good time, and I could see where you could say that they're preying them, because I was on it every day, team, every day, and that's when we had to use Google Hangouts. We had to use Google Hangouts. I was on every single day it was me, Abby, Laurel, Maggie. Um, we were on every day for 12 hours. 12 hours. I was like, who took care of my kid for a year and a half when I was doing that?
Right.
Granted, he was like 11, but still.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you didn't trickle, Buttercup. You did come in like a hurricane.
Yep. And not only that, but what I mean by them going after the newer channels is because when a person, okay, this I'm talking like a real person that really wants to grind for that money, then they're getting views again from the newer channels, because of course they're going to be loyal to the first piece of people that follow them before 1,000. They just
Sure.
are. Not saying it's not after, but it's more so. So it's like I see people begging, like literally, because the money's dropping because they weren't getting the views, and it isn't their subscribers, it's YouTube.
Yeah, it's YouTube.
So, they're
That's
knocking
that's
people
why
off
I
their
just
channel. They're doing those plunges where they take a bunch of bots out of the way, which is a good thing, but they're also knocking off people who aren't bots, they're just watchers.
yeah, that's
And
why
I
I
sit
just
back and
totally took
absorb
out.
all this. I'm like, is this really worth it?
No. For me, no. I mean, you could try it out. Try it out for a year, see if you like it, and if you make some, get a check every now and then for, because it has to be $100. It can be like it will be like 101, but it has to make $100. Um, and like I said, you can do, I guess, people can do those super chats or buy stickers or whatever. I guess that's what you must see like on my video when you said you're monetized again. I'm like, no, I'm not. No. I guess you could get stickers or something like that.
Yeah,
I
they
don't know.
they have a
It
super
was just
chat
up there.
stickers. Yeah,
I have no
and
idea
that's
what
where
it is.
people are making the money. You're right. It's the
I
stickers.
totally discourage people to do that
Yeah,
because YouTube gets like probably about 75% of that. I remember I got a $20 super chat once or some $20, however, whatever you do in the chat thingy, and I got I think around $7 of it. So yeah, no, thank you. Don't do that. And I don't know how do I get that money thing off because I'll go take that thing off. Nope, this is a waste. YouTube is just ugh,
and I
sometimes.
can't tell you how many times people grinded, just like
There you
Michelle
go,
said.
CBC. There you
When
go.
when she said what she said about how many hours a day that they put in to get the grind, I can't tell you how many people finally get monetized and they're so disappointed thinking they're going to get all this money that they leave their channels and they vacate them.
Oh no.
Or you'll see videos, I'm leaving YouTube
Before
because
Copa? Oh
they're
yeah.
burnt out.
Oh, before Copa, and we were grinding and we were doing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You can make some money, but since those laws came in, nope. It went almost immediately. Boom. Nothing. I don't even know like the likes. Like, does that work? If people like or comment on your videos, does that get you out there more? I don't even know anymore. I don't even care. I just like, I have 7,000 subbies and like I have maybe 10 people in the life and they are 10 of my best people and awesome and great. And I get a lot of, dang it, I missed it. And, but I'm happy with that. That's fine. I don't care.
But you know
Mary
what? I
LTA was
see like,
talking about
share,
that today.
and that's like me too. I see like, share, and subscribe so many times, hear it so many times, and see it and click so many times. I'm sick of it. That's
Yeah,
why
I
I
don't think
don't
I've
do it.
ever asked anyone to subscribe to
Mm-mm.
my channel.
I think a
Like
couple times as a newbie, I might have said, "Hey, like, share, and I don't do that anymore because if people
no.
that come to YouTube don't know how to like, share, and subscribe by now, there's something wrong with you."
Yeah, I was listening to Mary LTA today, and she was like, if I had like what you said, if there was like 10,000 people in my chat, but I think she used the word of, she's like, even 50, she's like, I couldn't keep up with it. I could barely keep up with what I have right now in here, and she gets a decent amount, like 30 some people. And she's happy with that. And that's fine. That's totally fine. I'm not out here for that. If you want to come back and watch my videos and learn something from me or I inspire you, that is all I need.
Yeah.
All I need.
And the only reason why I like numbers, when I said I've been trying to grind to get to my 3K, it's only because I want to do a giveaway. And somebody said to me in my stream,
Oh, dang, Tim,
"Well, you're not monetized, so YouTube's not paying for that." I said, "No, it's something that I just enjoy doing." And she says, "But you're using your own money." And I said, "Yeah, I can afford it, and it's
Yeah.
my choice."
Yeah,
I want to.
everything now is it's my own money. It's my own,
She just
what
thought
I,
it was a sin, though, that I wanted to spend my own money and not YouTube's money to do these giveaways. I'm like, no, because I can't afford it. If I
it
couldn't
would
afford it,
be
I wouldn't
different
do
if they
it.
were paying like they used to, but I mean, ever since they got sued and all the big companies went away for advertising, and I mean, I watch the ads that are on here now, and I'm like, really?
I know. Have you ever been involved in the middle of one and it was like, it kept going like a show?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like,
And if you don't
what
hit
the
that
heck?
skip thing really fast, boy, you're sitting through that commercial or that mini show or that get rich thing. Like those things never used to be on here. Those people who are like, I can show you how to turn 1,000 into $7,000
And
or
I am so
whatever. I'm
sick
like,
of
pay me
Lumi
now.
commercials. How many commercials can you listen to about butt odor?
Oh, all
That
those
freaking Lumi
ladies. She's like,
commercial
I'm
killed
about to
me.
show you. And she's like, oh, I'm just kidding. And I was like, what
It's
is going on? What am I watching? Yeah, I know exactly what commercial you're talking about. I was like, that's an embarrassment to women. Please stop. Please
not
stop.
only that, what was the poo-poo one that you could spray in the toilet before
Oh,
somebody comes in?
the poopery.
I never
Yeah, I
thought
was
that
like,
was
that's
supposed to be
embarrassment to
life.
women. You just better get off there. You're embarrassing women.
And I will
Stop it.
admit, if you have a couple 30 seconds commercial at the beginning or the end of your videos, I'll watch it. But if you think for 1 minute I'm going to watch the ones in the middle, you're crazy. Because when I'm into something, I hate commercials even on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Interrupted my show.
Yeah.
But I will watch them for monetized people at the beginning and the end.
That I do. Yeah. But I just said do.
But if you
That I
get
do.
some big ass show in the middle, it's not going to be watched by me. I'm not doing it.
No. I do watch, like, if they have like a sponsor or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I watch all those things that I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, like
Okay.
Kirsty and Mr. Ballin. I love how their channels are set up, Danielle Kirsty, because they'll start saying what their show's about, and they'll say, today we're sponsored by HelloFresh, and then they'll describe HelloFresh. I'll watch that part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get a lot of Casetify. I see a
How
lot
much
of
does it
Casetify.
cost to sponsor someone?
I don't know how much they make. But those people have like millions. Like the one girl that I watch, she has almost 9 million subbies. So I would imagine they reach out to you because
No, but I
it
mean,
would
like,
be
if
like,
I have a business, just like for instance, if I had a business with my bookstore and I wanted to do like a really cute video on my own and I wanted to sponsor somebody to run it, how much would it cost me? That's my question.
ooh, I don't know.
I'm curious.
I don't know. I do know that I get emails for box openings. We want you to do wear our bracelets. We
Yeah, I
want you
get
to do
emails
this,
like that
that.
before too.
And I know with that, I just get a lot of free product
Mm-hmm.
when I do that. I've done one for a planner and I've done one for the bracelets. And then there's ones that are like, don't even have to do. I'm like, have you even watched my channel? Like, why would I?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Like, no. One way I think, oh, what was it for? It was for something that was so totally weird. And I'm like, you didn't watch my channel. This is a lie.
Yeah, I had a person one time
I'm
send
not
me an
showing
email.
that. I don't want that.
I
Oh,
get
it
them
was bath
too.
items.
CDC,
Like
you'll
like
get them too
loofahs.
eventually.
It was like bath items, like loofah sponges and things like that. I'm like, what am I gonna do to like be in the bathtub during my live and just be like, oh, hold on, let me scrub my back with this. It works so well. No, I'm crafting. Like, come on, Fabritac, let's go. Give
Right.
me
I
some
got
cash.
one
Like,
time that
come
was
on.
absolutely funny. This company contacted me from Amazon, and they were like, we want to know if you would do this particular ad and they gave me a list of items. And one of the ones they kept pushing at me was a phone case that you put your phone in. Like, you know, like how this back is on your phone, like the casing.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't have the phone to go with it. And I told the guy, I'm a crafter, and you sent me this note because they say they'll start out like, we see your YouTube channel and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, so what do you think I'm going to do? Buy the phone to stick it in there? Because how are you supposed to demonstrate a review on something like that if you don't own the phone?
That's probably exactly what they did was got your email if it's under any of your videos. Because sometimes you wonder, oh, how do they find me? And then I'm like, oh yeah, my email's linked to my stupid YouTube.
And I seen like
Oh,
5
and
people do that wooden watch. You remember when the wooden watch was out that whoever promoted that was hitting on different YouTubes that you had
I
to,
have no idea. I did these bracelets. I'll show them to you. They're right here. I
it was
did.
a wooden watch and you could pick out the one you wanted to do the review on, but it gets sketchy because when you start getting the emails to promote stuff, it's usually after you hit 1K on your channels.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
they have companies that'll come forward to you in emails saying, we will pay you, or we will give you a free product if you show it. Now, those are okay. But
Mhm.
then you get the ones that'll say, we're going to send you a product, but you have to pay through it through Amazon and we'll reimburse you after you do the video. And it's like, oh, no, no, no. Because what if I don't like it? And then what are you going to say? We're keeping your money.
Right.
You got to really watch how stuff's worded.
You really, really do. I did this one. This was the one that I did. It's a company called Sasha, and these are made from women over in Africa who get, you know, hurt
Oh, those
and,
are
you know,
cute.
yeah, they're beautiful. And there's a whole video on it's an all women based company, and they employ these African women who have been mutilated and hurt, and they make money by making these bracelets. And it was actually one of the probably I think it's the first one that I did, and then I did one on a planner, and then I was done. And I still get asked and stuff, but I really believed in this, and I actually bought a couple of extra ones just to donate to the cause, and I thought it was great.
That
They're
is sweet.
beautiful. They're just beautiful.
That's sweet.
Yeah. And they did give me these were the ones that they did give me for free to you got to pick out whichever ones that you wanted. And I just liked those three, so and then I bought a pink one, of course. You know, always gotta get the pink. Always gotta get the pink.
No, Team Blue.
Whatever. Team blue. Yeah,
She can voice me back
you should
now.
like this whole dish right here because I'm getting ready to
I
work
gotta
on.
save up money for the next doctor's stash. We're broke right now and it sucks.
It won't be until middle of December.
I know, but we're broke. I'm not supposed to be
Middle
shopping
of
around
December, and let me tell you, my neighbor is making handmade paper. Oh, if you've not worked with handmade paper, woo!
Yeah, I have a journal made with handmade
Love
paper.
that
It's
stuff.
awesome.
I watched her make it, like, and I'm like, you're kidding me. Because I thought that stuff doesn't fold. That stuff's just going to rip. Oh, no, no, no. This is what these are made out of. These are going to be my tag toppers. They're totally handmade paper.
Oh, is there something I wanted to ask you? I got her on a panel. I'm going to interview Michelle. Yay.
Oh,
How did you
okay.
meet Tracy Fox?
How did I meet Tracy
Yeah,
Fox?
how did you meet Tracy Fox and end up in her design team?
Um, I met Tracy Fox when on Facebook. I had a group called the Artful Crafters where imaginations meet.
Ooh,
And she was actually watching my videos and we got to talking and she had 900 subbies when I met her at the
oh my
time.
gosh, that's funny.
And she was working, she taught art to special needs children. And I just thought it was
Aw.
so cool. And she started doing videos, and I loved her accent. And I was like, at that time, you know, that's when things were, you know, really happened. My Facebook group that I had 3,000 people in it, and I just really, really promoted her because I just believed in. I just thought she was just so creative. And so she also said that she was a digital artist, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I was like, you know, that's cool. And she started sending me like digitals through email. And I'm like, oh, these are nice. And I started using them and I started, you know, like promoting them and things like that. And she just like boom, just boom. And I was like, go girl, you know, and it kind of was like, all right. And then she did a design team call out, and she was like, and we've always called each other dude. She's like, so dude, can you help me look through videos? And I was like, look through videos for what? She's like, because you're on the design team. I'm like, what? And I've been on her design team ever since. I thought I was a guinea pig for her just to try things out. Like, I was like, okay. And
Were you the first person on her design team? Did
I
she
am
have
the
one
first.
started or oh, that's
I am
awesome.
very first one. There's only 2 of us left.
That's funny though.
Yeah, I am the very first.
So what
Yes.
happens on a design team? I mean, do they like send you free stuff to do first when it first comes out and then
When
or
you
what?
get asked to be on a design team, you shouldn't have to pay for things. That's not the way a design team works. You're actually spending your time promoting them. You should get a kit. You can request a kit. They work different ways. There's certain rules that you follow, whatever they want you to do. Like you had to put so many projects out a month, or please work with newer kits, or there's just different rules that you follow. I pretty much can. I wouldn't say do what I want, but I I'm constantly working with her stuff, so it's hard for me just to sit down and do like, oh, well, this is Tracy Fox. Like I constantly working with her things. So, I mean, she's all over my desk. I've been with her for almost 5 years now, and I have every single kit, mistake, everything that she's ever done.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very
And to
blessed
be
to know
friends
her. I
with
got to
somebody like
actually
her
interview
too.
her. There's a playlist on my channel called Chats with Crafters. I got to interview Tracy. She was one of the first people I ever interviewed. I've interviewed Nick the Booksmith, which I about freaked. That was
Oh, that sounds like fun.
amazing. I got to interview her for my birthday. She came on my birthday show.
Nice.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was when she first came out with Adventures in Booksmithing, and I was ready, man. I had my list of questions, and my one question I wanted to know was, why release the elephant now? Why release the beast? And she was like, because I cannot keep up with orders. And
Oh,
that's what she said, and I was just like, wow, because it changed my life. Like, I was never into this. And
right.
if you look at my beginning videos, I was shabby wall hangings and things like that. And then I met Abby, Purple Cottage Crafts, and she's like, I'm gonna make you love paper. And I'm like, no, you're not. Not gonna do it. Because she was a paper lover and a scrapbooker, and she was scrapping Abby when I met her.
Oh my God, that's funny.
And now she's Purple Cottage Crafts, and she's like, I'm gonna make you love paper. I'm like, no, you're not.
And she did.
And it just blew up from there.
That's
And
great.
Tracy is just one of the most nicest, realist, one of my best friends ever. I actually got to go to her wedding she just had.
You did get to go there?
I did. Poppy held the camera for me, and I got to be there virtually. Yes, I did.
Oh, I thought you meant in person.
Girl, I'm not flying in a plane over England. I can fly. I can swim. I
Why?
can't fly. I'm not
Oh my
taking
God,
a
I love to
plane.
fly.
Uh-uh.
You crazy. I love to
Unless they can
fly.
get me a bus route over there, no way.
Why won't you
Uh-uh.
fly?
No, I don't fly, girl. That
It's
scares the crap out of
fun.
me.
The first time I
I
ever
can
flew, I was like a kid bouncing in my seat.
no, mm-mm,
So
no.
you're so
You'll have to go back and watch it, Sandy. I think it's one of my birthday celebrations. She's towards the middle.
I did get to see pictures and I commented and stuff under her thing and on her video of just her and her husband. Oh my God, they were so cute.
Oh, it was beautiful. Well, I talked to her beforehand when they were at the house, and she was like, dude. And I was like, I know. And then she did the whole full oh, let me see her dress. She looked gorgeous. And then I'm watching the wedding. And the lady says, please stand. So what do? I stand at my desk. I'm like, are you kidding me, Miss Johnson? I'm talking to you.
That's so funny.
So I was just like, oh my goodness. So it was incredible. It was incredible. You love to fly too, see? No way. I'm not a bird. I can't fly. I can swim. I'll take a boat. I'll take a boat over there.
You know, my dad had that. He was like that too, where he would say he was never going to fly and stuff like that. And I felt that way for the longest time. And then before my kids left home, what happened to me is before my daughters left home, I'm like, no, I'm taking my girls on a plane with me for the first time because I don't know what their future is going to hold once they leave mama's nest. We flew to Fort Myers, Florida, stayed there, come home, had the best time. And I'm so thankful because my daughter, my oldest, ended up getting into a job where she had to fly for her job. And she says, I thank God, Mom, you took me first.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, no, Nope. I'm going to have to be like Mr. T. You're going to have to knock me out. Just knock me out.
So funny.
Punch me. Just no way. This is not for me. Not for me. I'm sure it's great for everybody else, but I just know I'll take a bus because I love to read. And I mean, we took a bus. My mom and I took a bus from Ohio to California. It took 3 days. And then on the way back, we took the Amtrak and it took 3 days. And it was the best trip ever.
How's Mom, Marsha?
Marsha's doing awesome. She actually just got back from a book conference in Atlanta, and she's getting ready to leave the 12th again, and she's going to Florida, actually Northport, Florida.
When is her book going to launch? I'm still waiting.
The 12th through the 28th. Well, the book thing that she just went to, there was 2 people that asked for the full manuscript, so...
That's awesome.
I know. I'm excited for her because I've edited some of it and I have to know how it ends.
Oh my God, that's
so funny. She only gives like certain parts and
you advertise your mom.
Yeah, my mom, she's an author.
Tell her dedication page better have her fans on.
Oh, I told her, I was like, if this book is not dedicated to me, I'm not reading it.
It's better have her dedicated fans on YouTube.
I'm not reading it. I'm like, I'm not reading it, Mother. I'm not reading it, Marsha. I'm not doing it. But editing like her books, she'll send certain parts of people, so you only get like a snippet. And I'm like, well, what happens with you? Gotta tell me what happened. And she's like, I'm not telling you. And I'm like, yeah. So it needs to be because I gotta know what happens to them. I mean, it's it's cowboy romance. That's what she likes. The cowboy.
I can't wait like a Harlequin. I can't wait to have her books.
Yeah, it's like a Harlequin type thing. So,
is she going to sell them like on Amazon or through a book company where it's like made? Because one thing I do like about Amazon is they only do paper books if you request, so it kind of saves on trees.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Or you
I don't know
the
logistics of that part. I just know when she spells a word wrong. And there's a comma not supposed to be where that comma is, and I just put red ink.
That's funny.
That's all I know.
You should have a job proofreading. They actually have jobs out there for proofreaders.
She should do it too, because those authors they throw their books back and forth in their little circle group, and so she gets to edit other people, and I don't know, that just like I think it's pretty cool. Fun. I just want to read the whole book now because I got to know what happens. Do they?
I think
I've learned a lot.
For a publishing company.
I've definitely learned a lot. She definitely gave me my love for books, for sure. My mom, I've been reading since, wow. You know how you had like caterpillars with little circles and you would hang them up in kindergarten?
Mm-hmm.
I remember my caterpillar went in the classroom, out the door, around, down the hall because I read so many books.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
So many books. And Jaden was the same way when he was younger. He had so many baseballs. They did baseballs for them when he was in preschool. Now, I mean, getting him to read is like pulling teeth. He's 17, you know? What are you going to do? But
We used to have achievement awards and we had to read so many too. I remember those days.
oh, I remember like my most favorite time in school was getting that Scholastic thing. Remember when you got the Scholastic and you got to order the books?
Yes, those were
Oh, love that
fun.
thing. Oh, I was like, oh, I would circle which ones I would want, you know. And my mom and dad, like, they were like, it's books. Like, how are you gonna like if Gene was like, Mom, I want these books. Like he does, he reads a lot of anime books and stuff. I'm like, as long as you're reading, so I'll buy the book because you're reading. That's good. That's all I want. That's fine. You know, if that's what your genre is, that's fine. I read a little bit of everything. Uh, I collect. My vintage collection is very, very nice. It's mostly classics like the Bronte. I have all the
Shakespeare.
Brontes, Shakespeare. He's probably the largest collection I have. Thackeray, Whitcomb. Uh, the guy, I just bought a Louis Bromfield book, and I'm just thrilled about that because he's from the town that I'm from. He has Malabar Farm, and Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall got married at the farm, and he was also an author. So every time I come across his books, I found one the other day, um, and I was just thrilled because I have a series on my channel called Books I Hoard, that will never be sold or ripped up or anything. Tammy, actually, one of your books is in my Books I Hoard.
Yay.
Yep, it's that Black Beauty where her name is spelled wrong.
Oh, what about the Paris one I sent you?
The what?
The Paris one I sent you.
Yes, I have that one, and I also have the pink music book that you sent me too. They're on display downstairs. They're
Yeah.
actually right as you walk in my door. I have my teacups, and they're stacked on top of each other, and there's a teacup. I'll have to take a picture so you
Did
can
you
see
get
it.
to read the
The
Paris
Paris
book?
book yet?
Yeah.
No.
It looked like a good one.
Yes, it sounds very, very good. I do want to read it. Right now, I'm reading a book called The Historian, and it's not what you think it's about. That's all I got to say.
Did you see my pink journal I just created?
No.
Oh, I went outside of my comfort zone.
Wait a minute. You use pink?
Yes, look, this came out as this was a I did it in a series on my Wednesdays. It's a pink book that was a Reader's Digest.
It is. It's the cranberry colored ones.
And I took and I made pink.
Okay, I did see this. Yes.
Yep, my pink dyed paper.
Oh
I have
my
to
gosh.
do a
Yes,
flip
I did
through
see this.
video, but this is going to be for sale. I am not keeping pink, but I'm testing myself.
Really? What's wrong with pink?
And
You have to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That
Ever
I
since
have to
what's her
learn.
face, Ashley challenged me. She says, I want a vintage coral as a custom that I made for her daughter, another YouTuber I know. And she absolutely loved it. I'm like, oh my God, I like have nothing coral. So she challenged me, and that's what made me decide. So this one will be for sale. This one I'm keeping. This is the one I like because it's blue. See? Blue. Team blue over here. But I can't remember who I bought this fabric off of.
You have a question in your chat.
This here. I'm asking you. Did you sell this?
Is that ledger paper?
It's Ledger fabric.
Oh, ledger fabric? No, that was not me.
Because I need more.
Nope, wasn't me.
I really love
I
it.
would go ask Pearl.
It.
If you've ever gotten from Pearly Poo.
What are you asking me? Hedgehog. Why would I want to know where the hedgehog stomps? Must be a gamer joke.
Don't know.
I don't either. I don't know.
I have no idea. I have a child standing here looking at me. I'm gonna have to dip, Tammy.
Huh?
I think the child wants something.
Uh
Thank
oh.
you for letting me join you and play with your restream.
You're welcome. What does the child need? We like children.
Who knows? Who knows? He probably lost something and it's right in front of his face.
That sounds like a typical male.
Yeah. I'm like, did you move things? He's like, no. I'm like, oh my gosh, move things. But it was good to see you, Buttercup. If you're still in here, I love your face. Minda, love your face. Hey, did you like the ideas I sent you? Your last batch?
Yes. I
Okay,
haven't opened
cool.
them yet. They're still in a box.
Are you serious?
I was so behind that
Oh
I had
my
a pile
goodness.
of
Those were like
mail,
some of the
and I'm
best
getting
ones
ready to go through
yet.
the second batch. You'll see it come up in videos. Somebody's like, how can
I
you do
love
that?
those
And wait,
funny
I
fun
said,
times.
because I want to open them as I make videos in case stuff is, like broken, because I buy from so many people because I did have an order from Whatnot where 2 items were broken in it, and I like letting them know. So that's why I do the openings. Why? But I got a whole bunch more.
Thanks, Buttercup. I love your face. Well, I can't wait to see you open them because you're really gonna like them.
Yay! You will see the video.
I
I
love your
opened your
funny fun
stock, your
times.
stash before I opened the deals.
I saw you do it the other day, and I was like, oh my goodness.
I love those curtains.
Aren't those cute? Her name is Amy.
I know. Hobby
Yeah,
has
her
so
name is
many
Amy.
secret friends. I'm beginning to wonder about Hobby.
Do you know how to Google her? Because I was like, does Holly Hobby have any friends? Because she looked Holly Hobby-ish, and sure enough, her name was Amy. And yeah, her name was Amy.
These are going to
I
come
thought
out
they were
on my
adorable.
windows. This is going to be on my bathroom window in the spring because my wall is actually green.
I think they're
This is
adorable.
what I got off of her. And look how
She's so flipping
cute.
cute.
They're right beside me. I have them right beside me.
She's so flipping cute. I just went up
Wow.
and
And she's
picked up a bunch of.
barefoot. Look at her. She's a barefoot hillbilly like me.
I love it. I love her. I'm telling you. I just went and picked up a big
And
vintage
these
load
smell
on
so good. What the heck
Thursday.
did you wash them in?
It's
She's
a
actually
secret.
holding a black cat.
Yeah, there's different pictures of her.
She's got my Hopi. This is so
my
adorable. I love it.
All right,
I'm a
dude.
little kid when it comes to Holly Hobby. She was one of my favorite dolls.
I'm glad you enjoy her. That makes me
Ugh,
happy.
these smell
I
so
like that.
good. What the heck do you use for
I'm
detergent?
not telling you. Everybody asks me that. No, I'm not telling you. Can't
Mm,
tell you. It's a secret. Because it's the
no.
same thing when I do my papers.
Well,
Yep.
my
I've gotten that a lot. People are like, for real, you're not going to tell me? I'm like, nope.
I love the sun. I love the sun one that's in the yellow container because it's got my husband wears Eros and it wouldn't come out of his clothes with Tide. So I was working in a skilled living facility and they used it's like half the price of Tide, but it has that I can't think of the name. Sandy, you know what I'm talking about, that stuff that takes stuff out of your clothes and stains.
Oh, OxyClean?
Yes. And it comes in a yellow jug. Well, they discontinued it. I was looking everywhere in the stores. I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me. I find a detergent I love. So I wrote to the company through Facebook and they didn't answer me. But another customer says, you know what? It's so funny that you wrote this because I just got done with an answer from them that they discontinued it.
Really?
And I'm like, you're kidding me. So the only Sun detergent here in the liquid form is only in the blue jug. They did away with the lavender, the yellow, which is in the purple jug. They did away with the yellow. I'm so mad at that company. So now I have to find a whole nother detergent to use.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. I use I think it's called Extra in the purple. That's just my detergent. That's not what's on your stuff, though.
This smells good.
I'm glad you like it.
It's a really clean.
I wander when I can. Some of this stuff,
But it smells familiar.
Good luck.
And let me tell you, I got a good sniffer.
And with that, I'll tell you good luck, and I'll tell everyone have a great evening. And thank you for letting me play around in your restream, Tammy.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming.
I love your face.
Fun having you.
Okay, if I see you on again, I'll say hello.
All right, you can come pester me anytime. You're loud.
All right.
All right. Love your face. Bye.
Bye, Buttercup. Love you.
She's so funny. I love her. Our Scotty. Who cannot love our Scotty? Yeah. Scully's going to whip me. He's on. What time is it there, Sandy? Scully asked me 2 times if I was coming to his live tonight because he's doing something with Jaws. Please tell me he's not live. Oh, shit. He's live already. So I got to jump into Scully's reading of the Jaws. He's got an all-star cast. So I'm going to go listen to his stream. And I got to take my dog out to go potty. So I want to thank everybody for coming in today because this was fun. You actually helped me finish all of my Christmas ephemera. And you kept me company. Thank you, Scotty. So now I get to go play with my dog a little bit, and then I can work to the next step next Wednesday on my journals. So thank you, everybody, whatever time zone you're in. I hope you're having a great one. And I'll see you soon.